I'm ready, but I'm just having some. Start whatever you want. If not, I'll stop.
I'm ready.
Good to go.
Okay. So, where we last left off, the group decided to take a short rest within the cabin, which I'm going to relocate us to now. Forgot to close the closet. I keep forgetting to do that.
I saw what you had in there.
I wish I had less, to be honest.
Mine's not much better.
Alright, so you are all currently in the cabin with two tied-up bandits that you have kept as captive, with the half-orc sleeping at their feet. They did not try to squeeze out of the bondage and leave the cabin in fear of what may happen. Keep in mind, it is still about midday. I know everybody was talking originally about staying there for a long rest overnight, thinking that this is where it was at the end of the day. However, you all did leave early in the morning, right after breakfast, some of you almost skipping breakfast. And you got here after only a couple hours worth of travel, and the fight was just a mere couple intense minutes. Brutal, but intense minutes. So, Kali still knows that he still has to try to make his way north to the Well of Springs, mainly because he knows that the wildlife in the area has been unusual lately, and it's probably the only way that things would be able to turn to normal. However, everybody did take on the job in order to be able to free Kali's cabin. Now, the choice is up to you. Do you guys want to remain in the cabin for the next several hours until it's night and then stay overnight? Or do you intend on trying to reduce as little time as possible and start heading north? It's amongst you to decide and discuss. Daryl?
Yeah, sounds good. But Turk walks out of the back room holding a very slinky red thing and looks at Callie. Is this yours, buddy?
Oh, just wait. Slinky red thing.
Slinky red thing.
I thought you were talking about the spine cord of the captain, like you were walking around like you were Predator.
No, come on. Turk's got other needs too. He knows about those.
Put that back where you found it.
Oops. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. So he puts it
Wash
back.
your hands too.
Oh,
you
that
animal.
does. He spits on his own hands, thinking that was good enough.
Oh.
Okay.
What are we gonna do with these tied up bandits?
Fuck, sorry, that was my...
The red slinky thing on.
So yeah, maybe we should interrogate these. Yeah.
Wait, I thought we did already.
Oh, I thought they were just tied up.
So
Yeah, I
you
think we
both
looted
did
them and-
interrogate them outside by throwing the dead bandit captain, which remained with a head for the first part of the interrogation. You threw it the body in front of them. They immediately startled. They tried to grab their daggers, which they found that they couldn't find any because Kali pickpocketed them while they were sleeping due to Evelyn's sleeping spell. And they immediately
Teamwork.
start to explain the entire plan. And just to recoup what had happened, they ended up mentioning that they had no intentions of going the violent route. They just tried to use it as leverage. Cedric, who was the leader, had gathered up with a bunch of basically lowlifes of the town, rejects or people who had been struggling financially. So what they did is they pooled all the money that they could, and they basically tried to pay off Kali. That way they can prevent the ceremony and then somehow persuade the town into paying a ridiculous price of 2,000 gold in order to grant passage, which was going to then finance their various flower shops, bake shops, all types of unfulfilled dreams at this point. That's what you got out of them originally.
So interrogation's already done.
You could try interrogating more, but
I don't
you
think we'll get much
feel
out of
that
them.
you're not going to
I
get
don't
much
think
more
so.
information out of this because they pretty much ended the conversation smelling of urine.
I think we should just
Oh,
let them go. These people have suffered enough and lost their dreams. And watched.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we should let them go. We'll scare them a bit. I guess they're
Yeah.
probably already pretty scared after seeing Turk take on that captain.
And lick blood off his freaking weapon. Like, jeez.
It was intimidating at first until he vomited after getting a little bit of brain matter in his mouth.
Oh yes, that's
Seriously
right.
wasted food.
Waste of food? That's all you got to say?
Hey, I was gonna text Stu if I had more time and tell him that I was gonna be eating some sort of meat when we start up this campaign. He was gonna ask me what was it. I was gonna deny everything. Sorry, continue
Just
on.
another Sunday night for Turk.
Good time.
So I think we should release them and then head north.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So, do you grab anything else from the inside of the cabin, or do you just go with what you guys currently have on your backs?
I already have the oath bow in my inventory. I saw,
Yes, you still have it in
Okay.
your inventory.
and I think I'm good to leave.
Turk, did you want
And
to?
this
How are you
considered a lot.
on food?
Yeah, I'm gonna look through his cupboards. Find anything not mint-filled.
Help
That sounds
yourself.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, there's some
Our
canned yams in
spell
here.
I'm sorry, Daryl first, and then Samini.
Just a joke. Yams in here, and we don't know what canned is yet, so it's kind of just smashed in metal. Yeah, okay, these seem good enough. So it's just some turkey.
There's definitely some leftover food. You do not have a very picky culinary taste when it comes to meat on bones or baked potatoes or any of the other
Brain matter.
or brain matter. Well, I don't know that he didn't seem to ingest that very well.
Well, it wasn't
But,
cooked, so, you know, there's missing a little spice, so I don't know.
Oh my god. I find it's funny how Evelyn is the only person that's having like the second voice. It's just like, wait, maybe we shouldn't be brutal manslaughtering killing machines. Maybe we should just let them go. They've learned their lesson. We've crushed their dreams. That's enough.
They're scarred for life. What do you know about our alignments?
I made them.
They're
As
pretty
for what
shady
alignments-
at best at this point.
As for what alignments you guys agreed on before coming in, those ones I'm unaware of, but I'm slowly starting to uncover them. Okay. So, I'm guessing Turk is just going to start ravaging the food that's on the table because you've been on an empty stomach even before the short rest.
He eats every single thing in the house.
Turk starts tearing the flesh off of some of the half-eaten lamb steaks, and he starts like just demolishing potatoes, and Kali just sits back like, I'm just gonna keep my distance.
I won't lose any fingers, okay?
Not worth it. Not worth it. You know he will eat it. Okay.
Hilarious.
Sorry. Surround sound of Turk eating during this.
Okay, just for your own.
He would have lost the finger.
Oh my god, I have to see if I do have something. Hang on. Just out of sheer curiosity. Come on.
Pencil.
Ah. They don't have anything for that. No, they just have eating hall.
Okay.
Ah.
No, we're not going to do that. Okay. So you guys are going to head north now?
Question.
Yes.
With a short rest, do our spell slots, do we regain our spell slots?
No.
No. Okay.
You do regain health based on your hit die, but thanks to the generosity of the cleric, I believe you are all full. Oh, nope, Turk was not full health. Well, he is now because you're
stuff in your face.
There we go.
Tempted
Yeah, I
to.
think I
Not
told
because
you
he's
I
stuffing
took
his
off of that,
face,
didn't
but because he
Oh,
has a
shoot.
high health die. Because he's a fighter.
I? Yeah.
He's Constitution and he has a high health die and he's high Constitution, so he regains the 8 hit points. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I remember maxing out on that last heal. I remember seeing it in the video.
All right. So Turk finishes eating. Let's go with a big burp. Wipes off his face. Like, oh, much better. And
yeah.
everyone starts to head for the door of the cabin. You now notice the string that has been tightly fined to the doorknob, to the contraption that did hurt Kali whenever he was tossed in the window by an ogre.
Launched through.
Half orc. Yeah, so with no problem, you're able to automatically break the cord, cutting it with whatever sharp object you currently have wielded in your hand, and you open the door. Outside, you notice that it's a little bit further on in the day. You'd probably say that it's about early afternoon, or between lunch and supper, generally. You don't see any other motion outside. However, the only thing that you see looking out is the stick that's next to the road with a head that's impaled on top of it, dripping blood on the path.
Turk looks at the group and goes, "It wasn't me." sorry, that's Slash's voice. My bad. It wasn't me. It's Turk.
Turk does remember being the one that actually tore the captain's head off.
Oh, that's right. God, sorry, guys.
It's easy to lose track with a good meal,
many
huh?
deaths, so much mutilation. I get confused.
So many bodies, so little time.
Yes.
Okay. So, you guys start heading up north, correct?
So I gotta side note this real quick. For our other campaign as well, I honestly hope that when we're traveling, you guys do the hokey pokey dance of walking too. I do the hokey pokey dance. You guys seen it on a Critical Role?
The hokey pokey dance?
Yeah, you know where they have their arms up and they're like, okay, here. I'm trying to find out how to turn my
Okay.
cam on and I'll show you.
It's okay. We'll definitely cover that later, because now I'm really
Yeah, my apologies.
interested. I'm really intrigued. All right, so you go ahead and look north of the map, and as you see further up north, there is a bit of a valley that forms a bit of a pathway between the two cliffs, which is where you were fighting the rangers. All right. Going north, being led by Kali, you end up spending about... Yeah, there we go. There's the initiative.
Hold up, I'm coming too.
So you guys are leaving the bandits there, right? Like you've untied them and just left?
Kicked them out.
Probably
them
kicked
of
them
the house.
out and locked the door, you know. Get the fuck out of here.
That'd be
Scram.
smart.
Even with the door locked and the windows closed, they run away. Like they just run east. Seeing that you're going north, they want nothing to do with you guys. I think they're going to try to make an honest living to open their
Jeez,
artisanal
Turkey coming, or
shops.
you're staying in a house?
Okay, there we go. So you guys all head north. You end up spending the next 3 to 4 hours of your day heading north through a very rarely used passage. So there's a lot of long grass in the area. It's not very well kept. The path is mostly by Kali's memory because he would often escort the villagers on a yearly basis in order to fulfill this ritual. But Kali feels unwell during this visit. He feels uneasy. Kali, I'm going to need you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
I can tell you that you feel unwell before this. I just want to see to what degree.
Did you eat some brain?
I'm not making him roll Constitution. As you're walking, you notice that you don't hear anything aside the wind brushing through the trees.
No, it's not fucking original.
And you're very used to coming into this more dense part of the forest in order to do your hunting. but you feel there is no game in the area. The obstructions that have been bestowed on this land by the bandits, you feel have really disturbed the wildlife in their habitat. All right. The travel goes on. It's a little bit further than you last remember. You do notice that the sun is starting to set down a little bit as well, and as you're currently traveling forward, do you guys want to continue in the night, or did you want to try to set camp somewhere?
What time of day is it?
It would probably be nearing about 7 or 8 p.m. now.
Oh, it's getting close to Turk's bedtime.
So
yeah.
you notice that the shadows of the trees are starting to extend beyond you as the sun is setting behind you, and the shadows of the trees are starting to lift above your heads.
So maybe we should set up camp here and stay for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah? How are you guys going to set up your camp?
Make up a fire. Gather some wood and make a fire.
All right. The dwarf volunteers for making the fire. Does anybody want to help collect wood? Does anybody want to start?
Is the
pitching
map
tents?
we're on right now, is that where we are?
No, it will be changing.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, because against the wall would be preferable to make the campfire near.
It'll be very difficult to create it against a wall since you're in the center of a dense forest, which means there is no human structures anywhere.
Ah, right, you did say that, yeah.
Forestry.
Sorry
Or
about that.
mountains or anything.
I'll help gather wood.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you guys
who's
know.
3 people collecting wood? Okay, go ahead and roll a nature check. The DC is going to be low if all 3 of you are helping that. I'm guessing Turk is going to try to one-man the tents, or are you guys going to
God.
sleep under the tar?
It's like a
stars?
straight out of
Is that?
IKEA video where the dad's trying to set it up and just can't. They gave me 4 instead of 6! Ah!
All right. The dwarf taking the initiative on the party starts collecting wood. He sees a nearby dead tree that he just starts to smash into sections where he starts bringing wood and then gather up some rocks in order to make a bit of a fire pit. You guys notice this and start picking up some of the broken logs that he's been accumulating. So the fireplace has definitely been put together. There's no problem with that. If anybody wants to start the fire, you're more than welcome to do a sleight of hand check for me using your tinderbox.
Turk is working on the wood to make it into kindling with his axe. He's just kind of chopping it
I'll
in
try to
small
light it.
pieces.
While the half-orc is making kindling, you're going to light it? Is this retribution for him throwing you in the trap?
And then eating all my food.
And, well, in all fairness, that was not your food. That was what the bandits have been doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I'm just helping. I sold it toilet paper too, don't worry.
Ooh, you have no problem creating fires out of just fast movements with a tinder has no challenge for you, being that you're very accustomed to being in the wilderness and making fires overnight whenever you are a little further away from home than you intended during your hunting trips. So the
burning
fire emits a nice, bright, warming light within 15 feet, and you know that there's a dim light afterwards that goes just beyond what I'm assuming the tents have been set now. The half-orc was doing that.
Oh yeah, tents, my
how's that coming
apologies.
along?
Could you go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check?
Myself?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Oh god, it's a 1. Oh fuck, here we go. Oh
Ooh.
shit! You didn't even see it.
Being used to share tents with large groups of people in the barracks, creating enough space for only 4 of you to sleep is no problem for you as you go ahead and you pitch up the tents with poles and then you tie them down and you end up using your hammer with pittons to make sure that they're nice and sturdy for the night as well. And we're going to go ahead and move to what you guys have just done.
Yo, is my mic screwed up? It keeps like flickering that I'm making sound when I don't hear any sound here.
I'll find
Do you guys hear feedback at all?
There
Okay.
should only be sound now.
No, I just kept seeing the square illuminated around it. Sorry, I was just making sure my shit wasn't fucking up for everybody.
All right, so do you guys see where we currently are?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, just wanted to make sure that it sees properly. So you guys don't see much beyond... Sorry, I'm going to ask Calopsia. You don't see much past the fire, correct?
Okay, no.
Okay, perfect. The reason I'm asking her is because she doesn't have dark vision. All the rest of you have dark vision.
Oh, crap.
So, just to give you a bit of a heads up, I found a way to actually make night maps with dark vision. And you'll notice that the trees, you don't see past where the trunks are.
Yeah, I know, but unless you click on your guy and you move it around, you see the trees moving around. I was just checking that out. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
it'll
Eric,
actually
man.
update.
This is another sick map, man. Good shit on this.
Oh, wow.
This is awesome.
Just
Yeah, that's cool.
So, keep in mind, the human does not have dark vision. She sees basically only what the fire is, which is not any further than the tents.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone else sees up to 60 feet.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Samini. I know this is really one side. I was hoping to make maybe I only want to have one person have dark vision, which would have been the ranger, because he's
That
the
would have
guide.
been horrible.
But then it was just like, I want to have a half orc, I want to have a dwarf. I'm like, oh Jesus, they're all dark vision creatures.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. All right. So as you're setting up, now the sun has completely went down, has gone completely down. The moon starts to appear over. You hear the sound of crickets start to echo through the dense forest around you. And as it's getting very, well, I'd say it's about 10 o'clock now. It's probably took you about 2 to 3 hours in order to be able to collect the firewood, the rocks, to make the fire pit, and also pitch up the tents. Because you did only leave one person to pitch up all the tents. In all fairness,
One out of all of us.
strong, but he's not the most dexterous. Tying
Or
knots,
intelligent.
tying knots for him. Tying knots is basically like he'll nail it down.
Good thing there's no ale out here.
What?
That is a good motivator. Okay,
I had a
so
good laugh at that comment earlier that we discover ale. I was like, get home, we need to speed, let's go!
funny enough, Samini did discover ale, but you never knew about it.
Oh no.
The captain's tent did have a barrel of ale, but because you seem to be a little random, that was not shared with you.
That's alright. Later I'll pretend like I named one of my daughters after the person who invented ale.
All right, so how do you want to spend the rest of your evening? Do you want to just go ahead and call it in early, or do you guys want to spend some of your night? This is probably one of the few times you guys had to share anything.
So Turk sits a little bit closer in.
I wish the log was around the fire, not on the other side.
Oh,
I want to
Yeah,
change
that
that.
would be nice.
Right?
Yeah,
I
that
wanted
would've
it to be where the dwarf and the elf was, but
been-
only so much time.
So Turk lets out some gas and goes, finally, no children around.
Hilarious.
Careful how close you are to the fire.
I know, I was going to help him light the fire with my gas, but that might have turned pretty awkward. You tell me to do a constitution check at that point, I might be a little worried.
Especially from where you are, the fire would be going towards, if you made a flamethrower, if it was high enough of a gas leak, it might go towards the ranger and dwarf.
Flaming wood elf.
Not as flammable as it sounds.
So Turk brings up, where do we go next? Does anyone know?
Well, we have
Yeah.
the map.
Doesn't the elf know? Since he's traveled that way before.
Yeah,
The elf
yeah.
is familiar with the path.
Looks at Callie kind of at the end of what he was saying, yeah.
I comfort Turk, telling him that we're almost there. We're traveling north to the fountain.
North to the fountain.
hmm So in order to help Kali here, Kali is familiar with a direct northern path that brings to the fountain. The fountain is found in one of the few clearings in this part of the forest.
All right.
I'm sorry for putting so much of this internal knowledge on you, Stu. Originally, I was supposed to play the ranger and only tell people what they needed and act as their guide.
Oh, okay,
Kind
I
of help
see.
people through their first experience, but since you wanted to try the rangers, I was like, hey, he'll probably be fine.
Yeah,
Stu-
when we spoke before the one shot, and you're like, yeah, your character's plays a pretty big role. I was a little nervous, but I appreciate you helping me out. So
Oh, that's fine.
It's all
No, you
good.
had
Stu taught me everything I know at Moxie. He's a good supervisor and being a know everything kind of guy.
Oh, good. You
My
fit the role
boy.
perfectly.
You're my boy, Blue.
Oh my god.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah, love you too. No, well,
All right. So
not
you
that there's
guys,
anything wrong with that, right? No.
Hey,
Okay.
whatever you do on
Sorry,
your own time,
I
man.
haven't watched the Seinfeld lately. That episode just came up.
okay. All right. So, do you guys do anything else for tonight, or are you just gonna start
think we
hitting it?
Take turns keeping watch, just in case.
Despite the lack of wildlife, you never know if.
Oh, smart. I'd take the first watch.
May I? Sorry.
Can you send me a message directly?
I just wanted to ask you, do I get my rages back on short rest or do I get them on long rest?
Ooh, good question.
I know. Sorry. I should have been prepared for this.
Wait a minute. It is a good question, but it's in the wrong campaign. You don't have any
Oh my
rages on this
God.
character. You're a fighter.
My apologies. So Turk offered to stay up and watch all night.
All night?
Yeah, all night. He does not need a long rest. He is okay.
So you're completely fine being exhausted the next day?
Oh, well, I just short rested though. Or was that the 3-4 hour?
A short rest is like basically sitting down, relaxing, and resting for about an hour's time. That's a short
Okay.
rest.
Your
That's
face.
not
Okay.
sleep.
So, oh shit, okay. So even if I short rest here, I'm still gonna be exhausted, eh?
You're going to be exhausted, and there will be some repercussions.
Fuck, being a team player sucks. Alright, I'll take first watch then. Turk says out loud.
Are you guys going to take individual watches?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a long rest, which is 8 hours, if you take it in separate intervals, it would be 2 hours each.
Would you
Yeah.
still reward us with a long rest though if we hit 6 hours each? Or is that gonna
6 hours each?
I mean, sorry, if we have a 6 hours, is that still a long rest to you if we do 2-hour shifts?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
I will give you 2 hours. In fact, well, if you want to make sure that you each get the full 8 hours, that would have to be math hard.
Yeah. I just
I'm
wanted to make
thinking-
sure we all had a long rest.
Well, that means everybody would have to do about 2.5 to 3 hours watch each, which would go into a total of 10 hours.
That sounds wonderful. Does
Let's
anybody
do
else
that.
have any thoughts?
Sure, that works.
Yeah.
I'll take second watch.
Get myself back.
Sounds good.
Okay. So who's first watch?
That would be Turk.
All right, Turk. So as all the others go to sleep, you can go ahead and pick your tents. Turk wasn't quite sure how many people you were and how many tents were needed, so he overcompensated a little bit.
Sounds about right.
It's better to have too many than too few.
Remember my pally where Jake was trying to poke fun at me and I'm like, no man, it's a micro penis. What are you talking about? He just didn't know how to answer to it. I was like,
So, Samini,
fuck.
are you going to be grabbing a tent as well?
I am.
Okay.
I'll go in here.
All right,
Turk
so
goes over
Turk
here.
ends up spending most of his time up against the fire, staying warm, looking around from time to time. I'm going to need you to roll me a perception.
Uh-oh.
Sure I will. Oh balls, that's a big old 0.
10. All right.
Oh.
The first hour goes very quiet. Nothing out of the ordinary happens. Now roll one more time for the next hour.
Sure.
There's 2 parts of each person's watch because it's
Yeah,
2.5
sounds good.
hours each.
Come on, better than 10. Where the fuck is perception?
Oh, Jesus.
Son of a bitch. We're fucked. Wake up.
You don't? So keep in mind, I do want to elaborate. Low perception doesn't mean that something does happen. It means that you don't notice if anything does.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to let you know that you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
So clearly Turk's been drinking on this shift. Gotcha. It got
You
worse.
could be. I mean, you have no objections. Nobody's there to stop you. Everyone's sleeping. All right, so you reach the end of your shift. Nothing happened, thankfully, on your watch. Good job,
Oh,
Turk.
wait, it sounds like real life. You're good, babes.
job.
I'm going to bed.
And this is basically like shift work. When you go into the line, it's like, all right, I've been sent home. You're going on to take. So, who are you waking up for second shift?
Yeah. Rurik, I heard Rurik kind of like stop snoring, so I was like, "Hey, buddy, you good? You good? I'm gonna get going out of here. Is that good with you?"
I'll take the next shift, yeah.
Oh, thank God, I'm half drunk. I didn't want to get full drunk. Never get full drunk.
Never get full drunk. All right, so you're welcome to retreat to another tent that's unoccupied, or if you want to use the already warmed up bed, you can just jump into Rurik's bed.
Turk's a little worried about why it's warm, so he just took his own tent.
Dwarves have a lot of body mass. They emanate a lot of heat.
Yeah,
They
body
keep
mass,
warm in
yeah.
dwarven halls.
We call it gas, but that's cool what dwarves call it.
Oh.
Oh my god, you guys.
Oh my god.
All right, so you're now at the campfire.
Yes, I am.
Are you doing anything in particular, or are you just going to stay near the campfire, keep an eye out around?
I'm gonna do what you just said, yeah?
Okay, so you're doing the same thing as what Turk did. As Turk retires over to his tent, he's done his duty, his due diligence for the night. He lays down. You sit near the campfire, put down your shield, and then you start to look from side to side, trying to listen to any sounds you may hear, which seems to be a little easier for you than usual since you feel it very, very unnaturally quiet. Oh, hang on. I almost forgot. Just going to reset this. There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
If it's unnaturally quiet, why do you
Wait,
hear the
why
crickets?
is there crows? No, this isn't gonna work.
I was gonna say we went from a natural to.
I thought it was just crickets and the sound in the background of the wind, but then there's crows. I'm like, no, that doesn't fit the story.
Oh.
Okay, we're just gonna cancel that out. All right, so you're gonna need to roll me a perception check for your first half of the watch. All right, as you sit there and looking around, you don't notice any disturbances in the forest. I wasn't gonna say forest. Another hour goes by, and you're gonna need to roll me another perception check. All right, good job, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right?
You continue steadily through your watch. Starting to really miss the comfort of your bed now that it's cold out here, minus the fire, which does provide a little bit of warmth, but not nearly as much as the nest you've created for yourself. And you don't notice anything else as well. For the next hour, nothing happens. You have now reached what you would expect to be about the end of your shift.
Okay, so I guess I'll go over to, what's his name? Kali, and, like, nudge him a bit, be like, hey man, you awake? You want to do your shift?
I
Okay,
just
so you're
roll to the other side.
You're going to enter his tent?
Continue snoring.
Oh.
Just right on top of him.
I'm just picturing you like hovering over him like, hey, you awake?
I'll be like, hey, wake up, man. It's your turn.
Okay, fine. I'll get out of bed. I'm going to exit the tent and stand right beside the fire to stay warm.
And I'm going to go back to my tent and warm the fuck up in here and sleep.
Mixing beds a little bit, huh? That's okay. You got all to choose from. All right, so Rurik ends up retiring for the night now that his shift is also done. So Kali sits out near the nice warmth of the fire, and he starts his watch. The first hour goes by. Kali, I need you to roll me a perception check. He's way ahead of it.
I was waiting for you.
All right. As you're sitting by the fire, you don't hear anything beyond the crackling of the burning embers as the logs are starting to burn through. As the next hour goes by, I'm going to need another perception check.
Holy!
Jesus.
I got eyes
Wait,
everywhere.
He's a ranger, guys. He's a ranger. He's made to have eagle eyes. Anyway, as you're sitting by the campfire, you hear the crackling of the embers, and then you hear a crack that didn't seem to come from the fire, but it seems to come from further beyond the camp's light. You, a little concerned, decide to stand up. And 1 second, trying to get this. You look beyond the tree lines.
Oh, spooky.
You see mostly fog risen from the bottom of the floor. But out in the distance, you notice a fast little shadow that flies between one tree to the next. And then eventually you see a second shadow. And the shadow seems to be moving low and swiftly between the trees until you start to hear a growl. The growls start to reverberate around you as it's coming from multiple sources. You're unsure what's going on until you hear a howl.
How loud would you say the howl is? Would it be enough to wake us up? Or like, I'm pretty out. I've been drinking.
I think it was loud enough to wake all of you, but you can go ahead and roll a perception at disadvantage if all of you will.
Sure. I'm a lot of snorer, so I'm totally expecting that nobody heard it. But oh, hello.
Just wait for a sec. I was blank.
I saw that too.
See what?
The dice didn't show up right away for me. Or the rolls, I should say.
All
Yeah,
right.
it just creates the box. For like a split
After
second.
that howl, both the dwarf and... Actually, no, hang on. No, disadvantage.
Hang 'em on.
Oh,
Hang
it is
on, man.
disadvantaged. Yeah, that sounds about
Sorry.
right. For my luck.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl. You had a crit. You were like, yeah, I got this.
I know. I really blanked.
Anywho, as the first howl cuts through the silence of the still night sound, the dwarf and the human immediately snap awake, wondering what was that, because that did not sound elven-like.
Can I yell at Turk, tell him to wake up?
Yeah.
1 second. Let's
so.
see.
Yeah.
Trying to see where this is. Ah, shit, we don't need that. Alright, yeah, you can definitely yell at Turk, but I'm going to give you about the next 6 seconds. What is your fast reactions? Alright, go on. Dwarf, human, you're both currently in your tents. You're currently sitting because something sounded off.
Wait, me too?
Yep.
Turk, it's battle time. Wake up.
Huh?
Peer out of my
Oh.
tent and go, what the hell was that?
Hello.
You hear Turk yell, "Is it breakfast time at least?"
Alright.
No, Turk, there might be trouble.
Ah,
I'm going to need you all to roll initiative in a moment.
yeah.
Just remember that you have to click on your character and then use the initiative macro on the top left-hand corner.
Right.
You don't have to open your character sheet.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah, it sent me a message there saying that.
Yeah, I just did the same thing too.
All right, we have Rurik, 18, 4, 8. All right, we are just missing the ranger.
Says no attributes were found.
So click on your guy on
What?
the screen, like your Cali guy, and then
There
go
we
to
go.
your
I got it.
journal. Yeah.
I rolled it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever you click on your character on the top left hand, the macro buttons will pop up, and there was initiative.
Yeah, I hit it twice, but it said,
Oh, I'll have to
Error
look into that. That was
expected.
weird. I'm
Something.
glad I have access to update your guys' characters just in case if things like that happen.
Yeah, it's cool.
Forgot to take Daryl's cards too.
What are these cards? Oh, I can
Uh,
click on them.
are
Ooh,
you
fancy.
kidding me?
What?
Okay.
I got a
Alright.
pair of 6s with a 7, just saying, if that's good.
Where is... Okay, so the thing is, for some reason, the macro's not working for these creatures. So I have to figure out where the initiative is, and then do this. Yeah, there we go. Sorry for the wait on this.
5. Ha! I even got better initiative than that guy. Oh, fuck. I had to say something. Can I just ask a quick question? Was it Cali's shift that we heard something?
Yeah, it was me.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was going to
thanks.
yell at you.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's like the old days. I can't make it into work for 6:30. Can you?
Oh, fuck.
Alright, so now we're going to go descending. Perfect. Right up the top, we have the Battle Cleric. Alright. And just to make sure that we set the mood,
Holy, there's a lot of them.
But I only saw them behind the tree, or noticed the one behind the tree. But the rest I don't see.
the only reason why you know there's a lot, and that's because your player knowledge, is because you saw how many times I rolled initiative.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm only seeing that one, so I'm like, I have no idea how much there is, and I'm not sure if I
Okay.
want to run out there, or if I want to, you know... I guess I could move... over here? Wait, what the hell? Doesn't it count my movement? Weird.
I'm watching from your perspective right now. So you moved 5 feet. Are you going to do anything else? Keep in mind, you can cast things in preparation if you wanted to. As examples, if you still have enough spell slots left, you could, for instance, cast your spiritual weapon. You can cast a type of divine protection magic. Depends on what you have on your list. Or you can just go ahead and say, you can try to scare whatever is there.
Oh, I have no more to cast a spiritual weapon. I just got the one... I got 2. That's poopy. I got 2 things I can cast right now. No, I'm just gonna stand here and wait.
Also, since you're all very new, and I do know that a lot of people are under the impression that you can only use what's in your character, I myself am very fond of using the terrain to my advantage, or things around. And as an example, I will give you a bit of a... I will pass on some player knowledge. There's burning logs in the fire, burning branches and etc.
And then just chuck them into the woods?
Standard forest.
It
I don't know if you
depends.
sell it
It
that,
depends
but-
where you chuck them, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you just want to just throw them overhead, not knowing where they're going, you may or may not hit an actual tree.
Burn down my forest.
Yeah. Fucking throw it in my
That's
tent or
okay.
something.
But
Oh, there goes my tent. Oh, crap.
expanding fire sources does expand visibility, is my point.
Okay, well, I'm too far away from the fire, so I'm just gonna stay over here.
Okay.
So they'll hit me before anybody else, so yeah.
Oh.
Alright, yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Next up on the tracker. Ooh, 40 movement.
I heard that.
The wolf runs up behind
Ooh.
Turk.
No, behind his tent, because he's still in his tent, right?
He poked his head out, he ended up mentioning.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, so...
No, I think I'm still in the tent. Did I say that?
Okay, well, the wolf, considering that you said, "Is it breakfast yet?" knows that you're in the tent and is going to
Oh, yeah.
slash at the tent and see if it can get to you. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly check something.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to stay in the tent for the whole invisibility to the wolf. It was a different reason, so I don't mind that at all.
Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to put it on my other screen so it doesn't take as much space. Yeah, sorry, there's a couple things where it's just like, I just want to make sure that I understand properly before I go ahead and do things. So the wolf is going to go ahead and bite. Ooh.
10, eh?
So the wolf starts to viciously tear at the tent. Turk just holds his shield up to the side of the tent and prevents the wolf from entering despite the tent being torn.
Turk would like to yell out loud, "God damn it, Olga! I told you we were done years ago!"
I do want to say, though, despite being a half-orc, you were raised in society.
What's that? Sorry?
You were raised in society. I just want to say you were a half-orc that was in an orphanage, and then you ended up being ridiculed because you grew at a faster rate than all the other kids, which is why you hate children to begin with.
Yeah, that's why he was popular with the ladies, right? Get it?
The wolf?
Oh, sorry, no, Turk.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're just going to fly right past that one. We're going to go on to the next wolf. I'm going to have to expand a little bit. Alright. There's a wolf that goes ahead and runs up. We go on to the next one. Alright, things are getting interesting now. Now it's Callie's turn.
Surrounded.
I am going to move over to Turk's tent. And can I use my short sword and take a swing at the wolf that's trying to break into his tent?
You can actually do that.
Okay.
Not actually, I mean absolutely do that.
Oh, wait. 2020!
Okay,
Boom.
roll damage on that.
Okay.
Beautiful. Alright, so as you see Turk holding off the wolf, and the wolf is just going ham on his tent, just destroying it. You see pieces of cloth from the tent flying behind it. You run up with your short and you swing upwards. To the wolf's surprise, squeaks in pain as it turns around and notices you, and it takes 7 damage. Alright, that wolf is now limping off of its left leg as you severed its tendon.
I yell out to Turk, "Don't worry, bud, I'm going to make you a fur coat."
Alright, so you do have 2 attacks, just to let you know, as a ranger, level 5th level ranger.
Okay, I'm going to take another swing at the injured, limping wolf.
Alright, go ahead and roll attack again.
Okay. Sorry, just one second, I was looking at my spells.
Oh, you don't roll damage till he tells
Alright.
you.
Oh,
No, it's okay, it's okay.
No worries.
He did just meet it, okay? So as he
Oh, yeah.
slices up and the wolf shrieks, he then spins the blade and slams it right down through its head. The wolf stays silent, sliding down your short sword back onto the ground, dead.
Nice. Sorry about your tent, bud.
Alright, so, just so you're aware and you guys can keep track, I'm just going to do something... There you go.
Nice.
Alright, now the next person, so that's the end of your turn. Well done, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Alright, we have another attack. Yeah, Daryl, this is going to be a little different than the first time that you and I encountered wolves, by the looks of it.
Yeah, holy fuck.
We almost got party
fucking-
wiped by 4 to 5 wolves.
Good God. We had to use a choke point and just fucking put the 2 heavy guys in front, like, alright, either we die
Yeah,
or we
that
don't.
was you and me.
Yeah, that was cool.
I wasn't that
Build
tanky.
a wall!
I'm a construct. I'm 40% wall material. Alright, so
Shield
that's the end
wall.
of that one. Now it's Turk. Turk, now noticing that you're no longer blocking off the onslaught of the wolf, there is a wolf lying dead in front of you.
So Turk gets out of the tent, and while he's getting out of the tent, he stands up, and clearly half-orcs are not supposed to stand up in tents. So he gets, like, caught in everything, and he's just like, oh! And so he takes a step out, and he's like, holy fuck, eh? There's wolves here. so then he moves over here. Let me actually check and see how much movement
You might
this
want...
is.
So, okay. So far
5
you moved
feet?
5 feet. You have another... Oops.
Oh shit, I was standing on Callie. Yeah, that's my bad, sorry. So I move to here.
Remember, if you
while
hold
I'm
your character
pouring-
and press Q, it'll show you what the distance is.
Oh, you can't see my name because I'm already doing that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can see that you're not moving that far.
Yeah, so I'm moving 5 and then I'm moving 15 to this wolf, just to let you know in case you're not seeing it. So, Turk's gonna fuck shit up. And he's gonna like, what weapon do I have right on this guy? Is it a great axe? I think it's a great axe.
You don't have a great axe, you have a longsword.
On my orc?
On this orc, yes, because you have a shield and longsword. The longsword has a versatile effect where you can actually do it with 2 hands for greater power, or 1 hand and still maintain your shield.
Oh, this guy was the warhammer and hand axe.
Oh, sorry, not longsword. Completely apologies. It's the
No
warhammer.
problem. No problem. Sorry, I'm looking at 2. There's a little fuzzy on it. So, Turk's all into his warhammer. He's gonna name it Nelly. Just saying. Hold on, I should write that down on my notes. Anyways, I'll write that down after. So he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, Nelly!" And he just like reaches it above himself and he wants to smash down on this wolf.
All right, so go ahead and roll attack.
Yeah, you will. So 2-handed, just to let you know in advance.
Okay, so you don't have your shield equipped then.
No, it's not equipped right now. I don't think it's blanked out. Does that mean it's not equipped?
Let me just quickly check for you.
No, it's not selected as equipped, but I can have it equipped if that's what you prefer. And I can do a one-handed.
The thing is, if you have it equipped, you can only use one-handed for your weapon. But if you don't
no,
have
I
the shield
figured,
equipped,
yeah.
you can use 2 hands.
So as of right now, it's not equipped.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Character sheets. You have 16 armor without it equipped?
Yeah. I think we're in chain, right? Yeah, we're in chain, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
See how it's like, it's kind of...
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, okay. I think I might have done that last one because I was more interested in the 2-handed a little bit.
I think that's
so
just to say that it's not equipped. That's why it's faded.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
So
you're going to roll stands then?
You're going to roll with 2 hands. You've already hit. You've definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. As Turk is swinging, you see that little smirk on his face of, ha ha, you're fucked, bud. And he rolls 10.
Ooh, okay. So the attack doesn't kill it, but are you going to follow up with a second attack?
Holy, so let me review something real quick. So he hit his wolf. I don't think, no, Turk didn't see that, so he doesn't know. So you know what? Turk's going to do another 2-handed because he has no fucking idea what kind of hit points these guys have.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to work on, like, making sure I don't metagame at all.
Oh, that's good.
So we're going to get down.
All right,
and then,
go ahead and roll another attack.
I don't know, another one-liner. I'm just going to roll it.
What's with these high rolls? All right, go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah,
Actually,
Turk's been working out, man. He's sober.
You don't have to roll damage, but just for my own curiosity, roll it anyway. Oh, all right. So as you run in, oh Nelly! You smash the hammer down, crushing onto the skull. You hear a loud as it has his head buried into the ground, and then you hear a whimper, and as you hear the whimper, you know it's not dead, so you just revert around and then swing it right into the side, and it hits the side of the wolf and knocks it into the tree trunk behind it. Falls limp right at the base of the tree. It is dead.
And for my bonus action, I'd like to put my foot in it and squishy it just a little bit more like you do with a cigarette. Just a little bit more. It twitched, so.
It didn't twitch. You don't know to what extent you killed it.
You didn't see it, DM, okay?
Okay, well, Turk, out of the sheer adrenaline, swore that he saw the wolf twitch because he was hoping for a more longevity of a fight. He was hoping for a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, you know what's up, Eric. Yeah.
I know what's up.
Yeah, I'm good. That's my turn then. Oh, wait, I still have a little bit of movement, right?
Oh, why is it that color?
5 and then 15. So I can... Yeah, I'd like to move a little bit more if that's okay.
Yep. You can
30
move.
speed.
You moved a total of 10 feet, so you still have another 25 feet?
So I'm just going to be honest, though. I moved 5 out of the tent, and then I moved 15 more. So I believe I have 10 more. Does that sound right?
Your total speed is 30, so you moved
Yeah.
5, then 10, 15?
Yeah. So
Okay, so you have another 15 feet.
Okay, I thought it was a 5 and 15, but that might have been a cumulative.
No, it was 15 so far in total. Don't worry, you still have
Okay.
another 15 feet of movement if you want to, like, get yourself set up.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see where would be
And I
the
do want to
best-
remind you, you do know that a part of your entire contract is to make sure that not only the children return, but also Evelyn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I'm going to move behind and kind of do a little choke point behind. That's
Okay.
probably my best move.
So we are going to do... Boop, boop. I would draw a foot on top of it, because it's clearly got a very, like, embedded foot mark on its side, where you shattered all of its ribs with your warhammer and then stepped on it on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it at the barracks.
Yeah.
All right. And the streak continues. All right. Oh, that is not what I meant to do.
Whoops.
Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. I forgot to right click. And you know exactly which one's moving now. Wow, good job on me.
Good job, Eric. Yep.
Hang on. Dun, dun. And then right click, perfect, and then go back to select. All right, so this wolf over here is going to go 10, 25, and it's going to try to hit the dwarf. That took a bit of a turn. All right, and it's going to automatically try to attack, and it is going to do... Ooh, that's not a hit. All right, so the wolf starts to run in as it knows that some of you are distracted on the other side of the camp. It just charges and jumps in, tries to leap onto the dwarf, and the dwarf, seeing it, just turns around with his shield, and the wolf just skids to the side and snarls. Oh.
Dope.
Dope.
All right.
That wolf. Can't get on me.
All right. The next wolf is going to go over there and end their turn. Then we're going to have another wolf, and they're starting to close in.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to have a cigarette while we're doing this. My turn's a little off, so I'm just going to switch over.
Your turn's off, but okay.
No, I'm listening. I just won't be at roll 20.
Oh, okay, that's fine. If you, as
I
long as you can
basically,
still hear.
to be honest with you, I'm just going to check on my wife real quick while I have a bit of a smoke. So I'll be listening.
All
Make
right.
turn proud, boys.
Another
and
wolf
ladies.
runs up behind the dwarf. This one tries to flank right as it saw you deflect its fellow pack member. It's going to roll for a bite. Now keep in mind, wolves have advantage when you're flanked.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, 16. What's your armor?
Is it chainmail, I think?
I think your armor was 18.
Don't forget I have that
blue.
bonus
So keep in mind.
thing.
Oh yeah, but keep in mind, if you click on your character, the blue number is your AC. It far exceeds the 16. The wolf pounces up and then lands on your shoulders and tries to bite on the side. Its teeth are grazing up on your helmet, and then you just kind of like back it off with your shoulder. It is now behind you, and both of them are just kind of like walking side to side, snarling at you, looking for openings, as you are basically a walking man of armor.
Wow, you can really paint a picture. I love it.
I love it too. It's pretty badass.
Oh, that's how my
100%.
mind works. That's why I get so hooked into D&D, because whenever other DMs are saying, "Oh, you swing and miss," I actually have a scenario playing in my head. That's why I get like really riled up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I actually see it happening." But then everybody's just like, "Okay, whatever, you missed." Like, okay, no, let me show you what I see. Speaking of seeing and not seeing, it is now the human's turn, who can't see shit. I'm going to show you guys later on. Actually, you know what? Because, little heads up, I am recording. Not streaming, just recording, just for your own entertainment. But I am going to go through her perspective, and you will see that she sees... All she sees, basically, is the two dead wolves and the two that are next to the dwarf.
Yep, I can't see anything else. This is really cool.
Yep.
I see so much.
I see so
Frickin'
little.
dwarves in here. Yeah, Samini, just for you, because you're probably going to see this, I'm going to show from their perspective, and it's a lot more than what you see. Just from where he is, he
No, I
sees
don't-
beyond where you see. He can
I'm
see
not
past where
looking-
Turk is standing.
Okay. I grab my dagger just in case.
All right.
And
Hey,
can
wait,
I?
she can see one of the wolves that's by me, right?
Yep, she can see the wolves near you
Yeah.
because you're still close enough to the fireplace.
Yeah, I can't see beyond the ring of the tents.
Basically, you see the outer tent of the north. The back of the tent is the extent of her vision, basically.
I don't know if you want to see past the ring of the tents. There's a lot of wolves out there.
Oh, no.
And now she doesn't know. Now
No,
she's just
you
freaking
can't
out.
better.
You might as well just grab a log and toss it out somewhere or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Can I grab a
Yes.
log from fire? Okay.
I'm gonna say that you're smart enough to not grab from inside of the fire, and you look for a log that's protruding far enough that you can grab it without having your hand set aflame. And what are you gonna do with the log?
I'm gonna toss it in between Rurik and this tent, so sort of directly in front of me.
Okay, you're gonna toss it over there. All right, so that's what you're
Yeah.
aiming for, and for that distance, and it's an improvised weapon, you are gonna be able to roll a d20, and it does not have to be a disadvantage roll, but it is improvised, so you get no bonuses to it. It's just a flat d20.
Okay.
Improvised weapons are a bitch. Ooh, okay.
Oh
So
no.
your first attack is d6, which is what it is. You go ahead and you grab the log. The other side is with burning embers, and you see the dwarf, and clearly not knowing the full danger around him, you decide to throw it towards him. And the torch lands, and watch this. This is going to be really cool, okay? I just want to make sure I'm in objects and tokens. I'm going to go to items. This is a prop that I made. However, the
Ooh,
torch,
cool.
Cool.
the torch
Ta-da.
landed on the other side of the tent right here, and
Okay.
it is now lighting the tree stump with
Okay.
small little flames dancing above it.
I'm okay with
just for the videos, she now has additional spot of light on that area, as everybody can probably... It's more obvious for her
Yeah.
than it is for you guys. But yeah.
I was so scared I was gonna set Rurik on fire. But I didn't.
For a second, that's what was going to happen. I'd be like,
Maybe if you rolled
oh,
a
fuck,
1,
I'm on fire! Ah!
maybe if you rolled a 1, I would have made it just bounce off the tree and land on him.
Oh,
Maybe.
nice.
You know.
Yeah,
Thanks
ever
a
since
lot.
I got shot by that arrow in 1, I get a little worried here about people rolling 1s, just saying.
Yeah.
It's not exactly where you were aiming for, but it is near the tent, and if this log does catch too much on fire, it might actually start spreading, so you know.
Well, I can cast Ray of Frost, and
That's
I have
right. You're a
I have
water
water
mage.
power.
You're a water
Save the
mage, and don't
forest.
forget, guys, don't forget, you also have a decanter of endless water.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, that's
remember
true.
you have that.
Yeah. Right now I can't see.
Okay.
I can't aim.
You're not a divination wizard or sorcerer, but I will let you know that it might come in hand. Anywho. That look. All right. So you went ahead and you did the throw. You still have a bonus action left if you want to use it.
I was gonna just scream.
Just scream.
Try and
Battle
scare
cry.
Out of fear, anger, or
More like trying to intimidate the wolves.
okay, so she goes ahead and she grabs the log, she throws it, and it ends up landing behind the tent, not knowing if it hit the tent or not, but she just kind of looks around, and not knowing exactly what intimidation is like, she just screeches. Turk looks behind him a little bit, wondering what happened, as if she was attacked by another wolf, just seeing her, like, yelling in various directions. A bit of a tear of pride comes from his cheek.
Nice.
But go ahead and roll intimidation for the heck of it.
Oh, okay.
I personally don't
Nicest
know
on
why
this,
you want
or-
that, but... You don't seem to be any more appealing to the wolves than you already were.
Darn.
They don't seem to pay much attention. You're still lunch, you're just not on the top of the menu.
I'll take it. I'm the squishy one.
Or more of a late night snack at this point. Plus you are the scrawnier of the... Well, no, I'd say you and the elf or half-elf are about tied. The wood elf, I mean. Okay, so, on to the next person. That was the end of your turn? Correct?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Cleric. After deflecting the wolf in front of you and shoving the one behind you, you are now surrounded by two wolves snarling at you. What do you do?
Alright, I'm gonna grab my mace and attack this one.
Okay.
How do you...
Just have to hold left click.
Oh, there
Perfect.
we
Okay,
go.
so you're going to do the one that's directly to your right. Go for it. Well, I'm going to assume that you turned around and you're facing both of them, because you're not an idiot. You're not going to, like, keep your back to them. So this is on your left. Ooh, 17. Go ahead and roll for damage. Nice. Alright, just want to quickly check. I don't recall if you have a second attack. I don't think you do. No, you don't have a second attack. Okay, so you grab your mace and you just do a sweep as the dog is down, and it knocks right to the side of its jaw. You see teeth flying and a wimp from the dog, and it backs up a little bit with its jaw kind of inwards. It's looking really rough. You still have a bonus action if you want to use it.
Can I turn to, like, face the other one or something?
You're facing, basically what you're doing right now, you're facing the tree. That way you can keep both of them in front of you. If you get attacked from behind you, you're not going to keep your back to them. You turned around, and I will grant that. So you are looking at both of them right now.
Oh, okay. It's just my little icon doesn't look like it. It looks like
Unfortunately, I can't. It won't let me turn it by 90 degrees. It's either flip vertically or horizontally, which means either you're looking up or down. Actually, you know what? Why don't we
Might
just
be
make you
better
look
if I
up?
look up, though.
Let's
Yeah.
just make you look up. It's slightly better. There you go.
There you go. That's better. Looks better, too.
Yeah, a little bit better. And the shield's kind of like holding off the other one who's whimpering a little bit, questioning if you
Yeah.
were a little bit too much to chew. Well, in all honesty, I don't think it can chew anymore.
Not anymore. Just fucking bucked out its teeth.
Yeah.
It can claw, but that's about it.
All right. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action, or?
What can I do in my bonus action? It's not like I can attack again or anything.
You can check to see if you have any abilities that allow you to do it within a bonus action amount of time.
What about the cantrip? Is there a spell in there?
So cantrips, if your cantrip says bonus as casting time, you can cast it. Shoot, no, what about bless or healing word? Oh, you don't need healing word, but bless might be a good at. Nope, that's action. That was a mistake. Ignore that. You could do spiritual weapon if you wanted to, because oh wait, no, you're out of level 3.
I'm out of thing.
Level
I'm
2
supposed to
spells.
finish resting. Yeah.
Shoot,
I only got 2 spells.
you haven't got that full rest yet.
No, I need that full rest, yo.
Oh, I know. You gotta learn to manage with what you got.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I attacked with my mace instead of casting something.
Yep, that's good.
Ow, son of a bitch. So yeah, that'll be my turn then.
Thanks for everyone's patience. I know it's a little difficult getting back to a character like a week and a half later, especially one that you haven't made yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
All
Okay.
right, so that's the end of the cleric's turn. So we're going back to the wolf. That wolf is dead, so that one is removed.
That wolf is dead too, isn't it?
Nope, this one is not.
So which one?
The wolf runs around and veers around the tree and then leaps for Turk. It is going to do a bite. Ooh. Turk already on the look for the wolves. The wolf jumps and Turk literally just swings to the side and the wolf lands behind him, spins around on the dirt, and lands right here. Now snarling at Turk, who was able to evasively maneuver out of the pounce. On to the next wolf. That wolf is dead. That's the one you're referring to. And it's now Kali's turn.
Can I yell at Ruthrick and ask him to place his shield above his head? Is that something I can do? I want to use Hail of Thorns to take out those two wolves that are attacking him, but I don't want to hurt him.
I will allow you to use your bonus action to yell at him.
Okay,
And since
sweet.
it is... Oh, wait a minute. Only problem is Turk decided to not have his shield equipped.
Yep.
No, at Battlehammer, not Turk.
Rurik.
Yeah, he did say
Oh,
Rurik.
Rurik. Okay,
Rurik,
never
yeah.
mind. Yep, you can tell him, shields up, and he's a dwarf. He can fit within the behind the shield.
Okay, sweet.
So the way that this is going to work, if he's using his shield and he's going to hunker down, that's going to give him 3/4 cover. 3/4 cover, the way it works, Nico, is you get +5 to your AC against this attack.
Nice. Okay.
It's really nice. Dwarves have excellent shields, by the way.
Oh, for sure. I'm no doubt.
Unfortunately, there's no tower shields in 5th edition. But maybe that'll be a thing in the future. I know, right? Alright, so you're going to go ahead and tell Turk, hold your shield up.
Not Turk, you mean Rurik?
Sorry, not Turk, Rurik. Rurik and Turk, oh my god. I'll get it. I'll eventually get it by the
Keep
time
your
this
head
ends.
down.
Alright, Rurik. You going to hold your shield?
I'll put my shield up, yo!
I'm going to try to save the day here. Hopefully it doesn't backfire on me.
I don't think you're the one that's going to backfire on. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to do a cone of thorns.
Corn of Thorns? Oh, yeah.
We are
Hail
in a
of corn.
town that's most well known for their corn, so you know.
Sounds
Maybe
like
you
Turk's
can do
bowel movements when you call it like that.
I'm from Cornwall,
cast
so you
at
know
level 1?
it's my heritage.
Correct.
Or would it be level 5?
So what was that?
For the spell that I'm about to cast, do I do it at level 5?
Let's see. Looking at your character, you only have level 1 and level 2 spells.
Oh, okay.
So the spell level isn't your character level. Ooh. Okay, so... Alright, I gotta get ready for this one. So just going to quickly look at Hail of Thorns. Okay, so... Kali draws an arrow. He whispers an elven language, and then there's a few briar twigs that just kind of like form around and encircle the arrow. And as he lets go, it flies through the air. And just before reaching Rurik, it splinters in a ray of projectiles. Rurik can hear a series of ting 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 as they're like bouncing off of his shield, and the wolves on both sides of him have to do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
That is not what I meant to do. I'm very
That's
sorry.
black
I was basically
dexterity.
gonna do this because I couldn't find anything that was a Hail of Thorns, which is very disappointing for an animation. Okay, so I'm gonna move back. So this one right here. Oh no, you don't have to do a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay.
No, the wolves have to because you're the one shooting them.
Oh, my apologies. Yes.
Yes. Okay. You don't really have to roll for the attack either because it's basically I can aim, but why do I have to? You're going to shoot
Yeah.
everything in front of you, basically. All right, so first wolf Ooh, okay, and the second wolf. Oh, okay. Whew. So, the wolf over here, he immediately hears the splinters coming through and immediately steps to the side, and a couple of these shots gets stuck in the tent. As for the one behind the dwarf, I'm not sure how they got around to him, but the wolf, as it was like skimping away with its like broken jaw, some of the needles made its way past the shield and got him right in the upper chest, and the wolf falls down. That wolf is definitely dead. Like, it had 1 HP left.
Well, 1 out of 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, the other one got a really high reflex.
Because he was bashed in by a hammer, so yeah, got lucky.
Exactly. All right, that was a nice shot, and good thinking telling him to use his shield, because
I don't want a repeat of our first session.
yeah,
Killing my teammates.
your shield has had better days. It may need some work when you get back, because there was a couple of them that were able to actually penetrate the shield, and you can see them protruding over
I'll
your
pay for
arm.
that.
Like, as you're holding them, you see 2 of them like poking through. Probably feeling very lucky that you were using your shield and that it didn't go any further. But yeah, you'll have to work on that later. Alright, so that was 1 action for Callie. You still have enough for 1 more attack if you want, because you're able to use 1 of your attacks as a spell, especially if your spell
Okay,
is
can
an
I
attack.
move close to the fire? And can I light one of my arrows on fire and shoot at this wolf down here?
So, I just want to say, the human has no idea what you're talking about. You're just pointing at darkness.
I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to illuminate the situation we have here.
Okay,
We can see what
so
we're fighting.
if you can do me a decent dexterity sleight of hand. Yeah, do a sleight of hand check for me quickly. This will determine if you could... Oh my goodness, yeah, okay. So
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
go
so-
get a whole forest on fire.
after you release the thorn and you see the other wolf hiding behind the tent, you look to your side and you see another wolf. As you're running up to the fire, you quickly grab a cloth and wrap it around your arrow as you put it into the bow. You tilt it into the fire catches. You look to behind you and you let it go. And you're going to roll an attack. Because keep in mind, you don't have fire arrows prepared. But considering that you were so efficient in tying cloth around your arrow tip, you can use it. Alright, 16.
Sweet.
So, for the sake of this, 1 second. This was unanticipated, so I gotta go back to my props.
Yeah, Stu, I was pretty impressed, man. That's cool. Shit.
What was?
Yeah, this is cool.
Lighting his arrow on fire. Like, non-magically, too. I was impressed.
Alright, so you're going to go ahead and shoot. The arrow is going to streak through this, and it's going to hit the wolf. The wolf now has a series of flames burning its fur coat on its side. As it whimpers, the arrow is very much lodged in. You're going to have to go roll.
Oh, poor guy.
Go ahead and roll damage, but add a 1d4 to it afterwards.
Okay.
The wolf howls in agony, and the fire makes its way up to where its head is, and you see the head catch on fire, and then it suffocates and falls. The head is now charred, and there is no fur left on its skull.
Oh,
So
I'm
it is now
sorry.
just a
Poor
burning...
guy.
It is a burning corpse.
Well, at least got a quick death.
So if you're intending
True.
on skinning
Hey,
a
don't
wolf,
scratch your
that
face.
one you're not going to be able to. Just a heads up. In fact, just for you,
Oh, that one won't make it to the fur coat, okay?
just for you.
Oh. Lovely.
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
It's actually
nice.
it's actually something I can hold, but I'm just holding it over it because it burns for a little bit until the fur eventually gives out and then the fire dissipates.
I love how you showed the arrow, the flaming arrow, flying through the forest at the wolf. That
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
I like
that.
that.
Was pretty cool, yeah.
Hang on. Wasn't sure if that was going to work or not. Now, unfortunately, since the fire gives out, you no longer have a light on that wolf.
Oh, okay.
But you did see
Well, at
a
least
dead
one-
burning corpse.
Yeah.
One less wolf to worry about, I guess.
Exactly. Alright, so that's the end of Kali's turn.
Oh, yeah, we're down to the 3.
I think so, because I don't think you even have enough time to tie your shoe. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. Alright, so this wolf is going to go ahead and run to the side over here, and it's going to go ahead and attack Evelyn. It's a shame Evelyn didn't cast any mage armor. Ooh, this might be fun. Ooh, okay, so unfortunately Evelyn's AC is only 15. Evelyn, distracted by the flaming arrow, sees the burning corpse, and a wolf turns around the camp and then jumps up and bites down on your arm and crushes.
Oh, ow.
It's going to 2d4 plus 2. Okay, and I'm going to need you to do me a strength saving throw, Samini.
Strength saving?
Strength saving throw.
Where do I find that?
So if you click on your character, on the top left-hand corner, you should be able to have saving throws, and then you can do strength, regular.
Is that it?
Alright, so first things first, I'm going to roll damage. Now it's 2d4 plus 2. Hang on, is that hit or that?
Show me.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. So you take 6 damage.
Okay.
You feel the teeth of the wolf sink into your right arm and a growl, and the wolf tugs forward and you lose your balance and it then pounces on top of you. You are now prone with this wolf crushing down on your arm, now on top of you. You are also grappled. You are knocked prone. Ooh, that's rough on the least strength-based character. Alright, so, Turk. You just recently evaded a wolf and the wolf's behind you. You are currently facing the wolf and you now see a wolf on top of Evelyn.
So I would have to disengage then, yes?
If you wanted to run over, you would have to use your bonus action to make a... Actually, no, I think it's to make a disengage. It costs an action.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically they can take an attack on me if I move, right?
You can
So here's
move,
my
but they'll get
question.
an attack of opportunity on you.
If I move here, are they both within attacking range?
Yes, they're both within attacking range.
Okay, so that's what I would like to do. I would like to move here
And
while...
since you're not moving out of the range of the other one, the other wolf does not get attack of opportunity on you.
Oh, okay. So Turk would like to take out his warhammer. As he sees Evelyn, he is not impressed.
You're at
So he looks
Warhammer
at
is
his...
still out.
He looks at his warhammer and then starts spinning. Just start spinning for one attack, and hopefully I'm allowed to attack both of them.
Okay.
It's a real heavy warhammer, right? So when he starts spinning it, it's going to carry him a little.
Okay.
No?
I'm interested in your roll if you're spinning it.
Oh, me too,
Go ahead
actually.
and roll
This is
your
gonna be
attack.
bad. Is it disadvantage?
It's not disadvantage.
Oh, it's not? Ooh, fancy. Son of a bitch. Oh, wait, that's a 17, not a 7.
That's
Okay.
good.
Oh no, no worries. Go ahead
My
and roll
character
damage
sheet
on
was
that one.
going. Yeah, it will. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Something inside you ignites. Some type of anger that you haven't felt in your last fight. You turn around, you see Evelyn on the ground, trying to hold the wolf off with her forearm as the wolf is just biting into her arm. You grab your warhammer into one hand. You just start to swing it. And then as it comes back up, you grab it with your second hand and then drive it upwards. The wolf gets completely winded as it lands in its chest and you knock it upwards. The wolf flies. Hang on. Yeah, right over there. It flies backwards 7 feet and 5 feet in the air, tumbles a little bit, and then just lies on the ground.
Turk would like to look at Evelyn, and he quietly, very calmly says, "Booyah." So both of those wolves took 11 damage then?
One.
They took 1 damage each?
One wolf took 11 damage.
Okay. Well, then I would like to fuck up his buddy here. And as he's coming out of his, like, whirlwind spin, he, like, uses his momentum and just, like, slams down on him.
Okay.
Possible?
Sounds good. 1 second.
Or her.
got that
I mean,
done.
the wolf. I don't want to identify the wolf, you know?
Unless
Could be
you
they.
guys want to do like animal handling check or nature check afterwards, you're not going to tell. And the one at the bottom might be difficult to tell because that one was really badly singed.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you good. Shall I swing
It's
again?
neutered
or-
by castration. Anyway. So as you swing up, the wolf falls, and then you're going to go ahead and spin to kill the other one, or try to swing at the one that
Like,
was
while
behind you?
spinning, the second attack will come out of it using the momentum to, like, smash down on him.
All right, so as you're like revving up your hammer, you swing upwards, and then you see the wolf fling, and you turn around, and then you just go around, and then you land it downwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Ooh, that's not terrible. Oh, yes. Fuck.
All right, go ahead and roll damage. You do
Okay.
land the attack.
Fuck.
All right, so you end up coming back around. You see the other wolf, and you land it, and it hits over the shoulder, and it does a big. The wolf snarls and moves sideways a little bit in a unnatural stance for a wolf.
And, I am going to stand and right here. And that will be it for me.
You're gonna move out of the range of the animal.
Oh, wait, I'm still in, yeah. I'm going to move here then. Is that still in range?
Yep, that's
Okay,
completely
that's
fine.
what I would like to
You're
do.
just
Yeah.
basically standing between the two.
Turk
Okay.
is a little bit sexist, so he thinks that Evelyn can't handle himself, and one of his bonds is I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. So, he's a little bit extra enthusiastic.
What about children? They can't fight for themselves.
Oh, fuck children. I mean, was I talking out loud? Oh, sorry.
So you have conditional morals. As long as they're of legal age, you'll defend them if they're...
Yeah, as long as they can vote, basically. It's like the government.
As long as they're vulnerable. Okay. Oh, low blow. Low blow. But that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, now that I'm a parent, the government actually gives a shit that I'm alive. It's crazy.
Alright, so we're going to go on to the next one. You still have a bonus if you want to do anything. It would be minor.
Don't lick anything this time.
Oh, well then why do I even have a bonus action? Nah, I believe I'm probably good here. I've ran out of one-liners for the moment.
Bonus action to one-liner. Alright, the next wolf. That one's dead. Next wolf.
Yes.
We are going to have this wolf run around the tree, then make its way over here. And it's going to try to attack Turk from behind as it's facing the other injured wolf. And it's going to go ahead and swing. Man, these wolves are freaking weak. It's like, oh, I wonder how this can be. They don't have a lot. Oh,
That one hits.
19. Okay.
That one hits.
Alright, so it's going to do 2d4 plus 2.
Ooh.
A crit. Wow, that is like both ends of the
Yeah, I
spectrum.
saw.
A 1 and 4. Okay. Alright, so it's going to deal 7 damage to you as it bites behind you. It's going to jump up and bite, and its teeth is going to sink into your shoulder. And you're going to need to do a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
You might have a better chance with this than Samini did.
Yeah.
Oops. My apologies.
Ooh. Okay, so as it bites down your shoulder, you feel it, and you try to like pull the wolf off, but the teeth are sinking into your skin. The wolf steps back, and you lose balance, and you fall backwards onto the ground. You are now also prone.
From a bite? Come on, Turk. Come on, man. Okay.
Sorry, you're gonna find
That's
this
all right.
funny, but wolves, you need 11 to succeed.
Go figure.
Yeah, go figure, of course, right?
I'm a +6 strength save and I rolled 10. Like, fuck me.
All right, next one. We have the wolf that's behind Rurik, who is completely unscathed at the moment because not only was it able to dodge the vines, but
No,
also
it's in
dodge...
front of me now. We turned it around.
Oh yeah, that's right. In front of you. Doesn't change anything about the wolf, but you are facing it. So the wolf is going to go ahead and try to attack you. Let's try to see how many are left here.
I see 4.
I see
Oh.
3.
You know what? I feel really bad because there's one wolf I forgot
That's
about.
3.
It was the one that was always last selected for dodgeball team.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he rolls a 19. Holy.
This means it'll be top of the initiative order for the next one. It was hidden by all of our name tags.
Oh.
Now you know where it is. Good job.
Yeah, but Turk doesn't know where it is, so don't
No,
worry.
that's fine. All right, so this one's going to try to attack you, Nico. Once again, the wolf tries to leap forward and bite. You hold the mace up, and its jaws land on the mace handle. As it's like trying to grapple with you, you just push it to the side as you punch it with the hilt of your weapon. It's
Yeah, that's right.
back down on the ground. There is a contest of pure strength between the two of you as it is trying to be the dominant wolf. Dominant alpha? Wolf? I don't know. It's not feeling as much of a predator as it's used to. Alright, that's the end of that one. Evelyn's turn. Keep in mind, you are still prone at the moment.
What exactly does prone mean?
Prone means you're on the ground. It uses
laying
half
down.
of your movement to get up.
Okay, I'll get up.
Alright, so you
I'm
stand
okay to
up.
use up
It
that
means you only have 15
Yep.
movement left.
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on this wall.
Which one?
I'm the one that's behind Turk.
Okay, the one that
So
you
within the
just
lake.
saw pull him down to the ground.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Yeah.
you're going to cast Ray of Frost to the one that grappled Turk. Got it. So go ahead and... Wait, how many
Is the
spell
wolf on
slots
top
do you
of
have?
Turk? It's a cantrip.
Oh, it's the cantrip. Perfect. Yep. No problem. Go ahead and roll it. And remember, it's...
Is the wolf on top of Turk?
No, behind him.
Okay, perfect.
Because the thing
Alright.
is, the wolf landed behind him, grabbed his shoulder, and then pulled backwards. So the wolf is standing, biting down on his shoulder, but Turk's the one lying completely prone on his back.
Okay.
Probably trying to punch the wolf off of him. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Roll damage. A 1 in 7. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so you get back up, you look around, you see there's a wolf currently biting down on Turk's shoulder, trying to return the favor. You form a bunch of cold energy swirling around your fingers into a shard between your hands, and you launch it forward. It lands on the back of its neck as it's peered down above him, and it lets go of him and revs its head backwards as the shard sinks deeper into where its vertebrae is. It deals 8 damage. Nice, okay. That was a good shot. You still have 50 movement left if you want to relocate in any way, shape, or form, and you still have a bonus action left if you want to use it.
What can I do in bonus actions? I don't think I have anything.
Also, around this time, after you launch it, you notice that the light emanating from behind the tent to your right starts to grow. The flame on the trunk has been completely lit up. the whole trunk is covered. You don't see the fire specifically, but you do see the flickering of the light from around the tent, which does give you the impression that there is an additional fire. Faintly remembering, you did throw fire in that direction.
But aren't
Yeah,
wolves
I mean,
somewhat afraid of fire? So...
They haven't gone near the fire. Collie's the only one that was standing near the fire.
There.
Okay, you're gonna move over there? Sounds good.
Yeah. That ends my turn, right?
Just before you do that, I just want you to quickly do me a 1 second. What would this fall under? Could you go ahead and do me a acrobatics check? Beautiful. As you're running up, the wolf that's next to the fire, you evade the fire and then you slip on some of the blood that has been pooling around the wolf that has been completely broken open from the massive Warhammer blow. But you're able to regain your balance and then hop over the remainder of the body. You are now standing on the other end and also in a dry patch of grass now. You're no longer standing in a pool of blood.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, your heart sank there a little bit, huh?
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you if you succeeded or not until the end of the description. Alright, so that's the end of Evelyn's turn. We are now at the cleric with your one-on-one duel with this wolf who has no idea who's in charge.
I guess I'll take my mace there and just do a swing attack at the wolf.
Alright, go for it.
What am I doing?
Ooh. As the wolf is currently prowling around trying to seek an opening, you use your mace in order to swing and the wolf dashes to the side and then continues prowling around. You actually missed. That is your attack.
I have a bonus action, but I don't have anything to...
Also, side note, Katie.
Oh, on mine? Yeah,
Yeah.
shit, sorry. I'm doing what I can to manage. This is
Aw.
real life Evelyn, just saying.
Oh,
Hi,
hi.
Evelyn.
So cute.
I feel like we have a bit of a time loop disturbance going on here. You're not supposed to encounter your past self. It's not good to the timeline.
Turk's just preparing his meals.
We know you don't handle brain very well.
That's why I don't have many.
Yeah, no, that's all I'm gonna do.
That's all for now? Alright.
Okay.
Maybe a little frustrated that I missed.
Yeah, it happens, man. The wolves aren't necessarily meant to be a deadly or very difficult challenge. Basically just to be an introduction as to what a knife fight. Not knife. Night fight is like. Okay, so we have the other wolf over here that's still kind of like leaning as its shoulder has been concave from its last attack from Turk. Seeing Turk on the ground, it's going to go ahead and attack Turk. Now, Turk is prone, which gives it advantage, and it's currently flanked by two wolves, which also give it advantage, but advantage doesn't stack. It's either advantage or not. So I'm not going to roll 3 dice. Alright, it's going to go ahead and bite twice.
Okay, don't make me mute
Ooh.
myself. Come on, I really.
It turns around, it sees Turk on the ground, it lunges forward and bites on his right thigh. Turk is being like tossed around like between two animals trying to get a meal.
Jeez, it's like my twins at feeding time. Holy.
Yeah, so it's going to roll 2d4 plus 2, which is another 7 damage. 1 and 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just did that again.
No, I mean, like, yeah. That's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah. So you take another 7 damage, and you're going to have to do another strength check.
Oh, hey, you took 7 off as well? I already took off the 7.
Oh,
I was
you already
at,
took 7?
37, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
Hang on.
44. So 37. Here, I'll just switch it back. So 7 more?
No, don't worry. I already fixed your health.
Oh, my apologies.
I just need you to do a strength saving throw.
Yavers.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's because I got one baby rolling crits.
There we go. As the wolf is sinking his teeth in your thigh, you're like, nah, and you just lift your leg and then just push it with your arm with such force that it knocks the wolf back.
And then I say pathetic.
I don't know if you're in the best state to say that, but I like it.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe my bonus action next time. My bad.
No, I meant like the fact that you're on the ground and like wolves are like taking turns eating at you like you're in a game of Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, it's like a Friday night where I come from. Come on, man. Just not wolves.
Follow-up questions will be had.
Yes.
All right, that's the end of that wolf's turn. Kali, seeing
I'm
all these wolves around you, you feel that there's something very, very wrong. Wolves do not attack lit camps like this. There's clearly something disturbing them. All right, it's your turn.
I'm going to move around this tent, and I'm going to try to help Turk out by shooting an arrow at this wolf right here.
All right, sounds good. Seeing the wolf getting knocked back, you decide to run around the tent to get a better shot and try to see if you get it by surprise.
Yep. And I'm going to use longbow.
All right, roll damage. Oh, you don't have to roll damage, but do it anyway.
Okay.
Oh, okay, +3. Perfect. Yeah, as the wolf backs up, you turn around the tent with an arrow already knocked, and then you let it go, and it lands in its hip on the side. The wolf howls, and it falls on its side, panting a little bit, and then its breaths start to slow down, and then eventually just stop breathing entirely.
Sweet. I'm helping you out, bud.
Turk looks at the wood elf and goes, "It's a good try. It's a good try."
What do you mean? I killed him.
As he's
Yeah,
like
you
on
did.
as he's on the ground and he pushed the wolf back and he sees the wolf back up and then an arrow just sinks on its side and then falls over. Like,
Oh no, you can't really look at the elf with the tent in the
no, he doesn't see the elf. He just sees an arrow land right into the side of the wolf and the wolf falls. Now turning his attention to the one behind him. All right, Kali, you used 15 movement, so less than half
Okay.
of your movement, and you used an attack.
So can I move over on top of this wolf and shoot another arrow at the one near Rurik?
One, you don't have to move to shoot that one, but do you want to move there?
No, if I don't have to move there, I don't want it to slip on any blood or anything while I'm
Damn
shooting.
it.
Kill my boy over there. I
You
do.
were-
Trying to get the wolf slip. Oh shit! I got the dwarf in the face. Well, fuck.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, it would have to be a series of really, really bad rolls to make you hit the dwarf.
I don't want to risk it.
Yeah. You feel much more confident being on solid ground than, like, seeking balance on a freshly killed corpse. Ooh, alright, second arrow. Go ahead and roll damage.
Rolling damage.
Oh yeah.
Nice. After this contest of will between the cleric and the wolf, constantly attacking back and forth, a arrow lands in the side of its chest, pierces into its lung, and the wolf shrieks and coughs up blood as it starts to have blood protruding from its jaw, and it's now snarling at you, still bleeding. You can feel that you've definitely struck a lung. Let me reduce health. There we go. All right. So that's it for your turn?
Yeah, I'll end there.
Okay, perfect. This wolf is dead. This wolf is still completely dead near the campfire, now with a footprint in a slipped footprint across its blood. I think Evelyn knows which one that is. All right, it's now Turk's turn.
Pardon me, you said it was Turk's turn, eh?
Yep, your turn.
Okay. I am going to attack this close wolf.
Now keep in mind you
Get up
are still
first.
prone on the ground.
Oh,
You
yes.
can
I'd like to
attack-
use an action to stand up then, please.
Okay,
It's
you
an
are-
action, right?
Yeah, it's half of your movement.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine with Turk. So,
Okay, so you go ahead, you get back up, and you turn around towards the wolf that was behind you that got you on the shoulder. You still remember very well.
barely.
Barely? Oh no.
All right, can I two-hand Warhammer then?
Oh yeah, you still don't have a shield equipped, so you can
That would
definitely
be
two-hand it.
wonderful.
Alright, roll
18.
damage.
Thanks, honey. Give me a second, sorry. There you go. Oh, Dad's duty's over. Shit, sorry guys, I'm not mute myself very well.
No worries.
Roll
You don't
damage.
have to. That's not loud at all.
Oh, okay. 4.
Alright. You go ahead and you grab your warhammer. You see the shard still sticking from the top of its back into its invertebrae, and seeing that shard, you just go ahead and you wham into the shard, driving it even further down. The shard is completely sunken into its chest, its back. It's protruding now, its stomach. The wolf now falls to the ground. There is no sign of life from this wolf.
Nice. So
That-
I have 15
That
movement.
is a combo kill, by the way. I just want to point
Yeah.
out.
I was gonna throw the baby at him if that didn't work. So, but you know.
That is a improvised projectile weapon. I think
yes.
you can use strength for that, actually.
Oh shit. Warhammer, baby. It's the same thing. Come on. Damn it! I can't move over there.
If you ever have a baby in the future, you can throw it, but I will question you.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that at one point. One of my characters had
And
a
if you
kid,
crit
like,
high enough, it might splat on impact.
Fuck.
So don't tempt
So I'm
me.
going to move to here. That's my 15 move. 15
Alright.
movement. Sorry, I apologize. The wife
Moving.
just walked in the door.
Okay,
and
so
she
you
took
end up
the baby.
moving over around
Yeah.
a campfire. As you run towards to help the cleric, you notice to your left side that there's a second fire starting to build next to one of the tents that you set up earlier.
All right. So in my bonus action, in advance of my second action, I raise both hands with the fire, and you can just see that the fire is metaphorically consuming me on the inside now too, with the encouragement from looking like it's a war
What
zone.
fire are you holding?
No, I'm not holding anything. I'm just holding my hands up like I'm psychotic with the two fires on the both sides of me.
Oh, okay. It's
And
kind
then-
of like one of those perfectly placed pictures when people
Yeah,
are holding
see?
the Lean Tower
Exactly,
pizza.
yeah.
Somebody
It's like
over
Instagram,
here-
man. You don't have Instagram? Shit. Okay, so I would like to try something for the first time. I would like to throw my hand axe at wolf number 12, whatever the fuck number he is.
Your guess is
Okay.
as good
That's
as mine.
feasible,
I don't
right?
know. I just placed them everywhere. That looked nice.
I think it was like 7 or something. I'm just kidding around anyways. So how do I do a throwing action? Do I just do the same damage as the hand axe?
It's a strength attack.
Strength attack?
Because for
So-
throwing, right? For hand axe, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I
So-
just do the hand axe then, right?
What you're going to want to do is you just quickly go to your character. You're going to
Yeah.
want to equip it.
Okay.
Because your hand axe is there. Make sure that it's equipped. Perfect. And now you'll see it's actually one of the attack options you have.
Just to give you a heads up, sorry.
Yeah, so if you click on hand axe, you'll be able to do the ranged attack.
And it's just the normal attack, the 1d6 plus 3?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead and roll on the...
So Turk, being the normal kind of guy, he kind of licks his finger, checks the air in the 1 second he has in his turn, smiles, and throws the axe at him. Oh, that is certainly not my axe. 18.
Whoa.
Okay. Kali, seeing you grab your hand axe from off of your belt, checking the air, wondering, what are you doing? Considering he's a very well-trained veteran in range combat, and this is probably one of your first attempts trying to impress Kali of, your versatile combat method.
Yeah, he seems like a cool fucking dude. I threw him through a window. He didn't say shit about it. So
You go ahead and somehow you determine that the wind is in your favor, and you throw it at the wolf. It spins and lands right by the cleric and hits the wolf. Now roll damage to determine what type of attack it did.
Turk would like to just make eye contact with Rourke and be like, my bad, dude. Didn't realize.
It did not hit Ulrich. It went
No, I mean, it was close.
right by his face. He was like, what?
Turk's already got hit by friendly fire, so he understands.
Up until this moment, the cleric has only seen shards of ice and arrows as projectiles. This is new. All right. You,
So
the wolf, who currently has an arrow sticking out of its chest and bleeding profusely from its jaw, is just gazing eyes at Kali, and then from its peripheral vision to its right, it just sees an axe flailing in and sinks deep into its neck. It shivers its head to the side and then just crumbles downwards, the axe still sticking from the side of its neck. It is dead.
That's our last enemy, right? Oh, okay, sorry. I don't want to ask that if that's... No, sorry. I forgot there was another one. I was just going to pick up that axe, that's all. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no problem. I believe that would be Turk's turn then.
All right. That was a good turn. And the struggle between the dwarf and the wolf is now concluded.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Good
right.
job, guys.
Gonna minimize some of this stuff. All right. This wolf is still burned to a crisp.
That's my breakfast.
Dibs.
You're more than welcome to try. That wolf is still dead with a shard protruding from its inner torso and protruding from its abdomen. I don't know what the anatomy is for a wolf. I'm just going to use similar body parts for humans and just make it work. All right, next wolf. The wolf runs over here.
There's
And then-
more?
Eventually makes its way behind this tent. It's running past a bunch of its dead brethren. Now, normally wolves only fight in packs, and whenever they lose a certain amount of their pack, they will often retreat in order to have the upper hand. But these ones seem to be relentless, which Kali finds very unusual. They don't seem to be attacking as an organized pack. They seem to be desperate. All right. Now for the next wolf. That one is dead. So that ends it. Now it's Evelyn's turn.
I call out. How many more are there?
Can any of you people with dark vision respond to that?
Don't leave me in the dark
I only-
here.
I see one. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Turk does not see any. So.
Turk is the only one that would have a chance to see it because there is a tent between the wolf and Kali. But
Sorry,
with your
I don't see any.
with your keen hearing, you may hear a series of footsteps and panting as the wolf is in a full trot.
Are we still in combat right now, or are
We're
we
still
out?
in combat. It is
Okay.
currently Evelyn's turn.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to pipe up then.
Oh. Sorry, what did Kali say?
I
I could hear one running behind the tent.
Another
Oh,
one
shit.
running.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up another,
You can try to look for the other wolf if you want. You can try to gain light. You can try putting out the other fire behind the tent. That's dangerously close. That's entirely up to you.
That creates a lot
I-
of light. I don't know why you'd want to throw another log over.
Turk would also like to throw out the option of burning everything. Just saying. Just saying.
I do want to run towards it because
Wolf
I'm,
smoked ribs in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm already hurt.
Fuck are those cats doing?
Aw. Evelyn sounds adorable. Alright, so let's see. What's Samini doing?
I'm actually gonna stay here
Are you going to do
and
anything
let's
while you're
put
there?
this fire out.
Alright, how are you going to put it out?
I'm going to.
You have equipment and spells.
Yeah,
Your
I'm gonna
spells
use.
aren't very focused on dousing fire with water.
Mhm.
It's more forming shards of ice or doing tidal wave, and tidal wave might be excessive. In fact, you might lose your tent entirely. It's
Yeah,
just
and
gonna
like
fling it somewhere over the tree lines. You're gonna be like, I don't know where it is, but it's not on fire.
It's okay. There's plenty more other tins.
Yeah, Turk might be a little insulted though at his wonderful craftsmanship.
I'm gonna use my flask and use fountain.
Oh, okay. You grab the decanter that's been slung over your shoulder this whole time and you uncork it. You end up saying the word fountain, and it just has a goust of water that pours from the flask. Sorry, the decanter. And I'm just going to have you quickly roll me a d20 for a second
Okay.
and add your dexterity to it.
That's
Okay.
my D20.
No, that's fine. With your
My
dexterity, that's completely fine.
plus
Okay,
two.
so you go ahead. The water impacts all around where the fire on the stump is, and you hear a sizzle as a lot of the fire flames are dying, and now only peering from the stump is a series of snuffed out flames leaving smoke trails. I think that's what I'm going to go with, and that means that.
Yep.
I know, that's the downside, but at least you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
a fire getting out of control. Otherwise, you
I
might
go
have to
close
take out
to fire.
the geyser.
Yep. Don't want to
big
do
guns.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So is there anything else you're going to do?
Nope. That's it.
All right, that's the end of Simini's turn. We are now at the cleric, who is now standing above two completely dead wolves, thanks to your allies.
Yeah.
The power of friendship will prevail.
I'm down.
Alright, so I figure maybe I'll move towards the sounds of the other wolf.
Okay. I want you to quickly roll me a perception check. Yep. You definitely notice that the only sounds of a series of footprints is coming from somewhere behind you. So from the opposite side of the encampment.
So I'm going to move over here between these two tents.
Being that it was the only wolf, it wasn't a very high DC.
Yeah.
And you
Can
already had an idea which direction it was, so you were listening to it.
Can you turn me around?
Yeah, so if ever you're not sure, if you right-click on your icon and you hover over to advance, you should be able to flip. Just like that. There you go. I don't know if it gives you that option.
Really? I got this hand thing when I right click.
Alright, so. Are you going to attack the wolf behind the dead wolf? It's a little out of range.
It's a little at a disadvantage too, because I don't want to slip and trip over the dead wolf.
You could try stepping around the dead wolf if you want.
I could.
It was
but
difficult for Samini because there's not a lot of space between the campfire and the tent, and I'm going to assume that logic is going to prevail, and she's not going to want to run through the fire. So, you know, limited options.
Oh, Turk is disappointed.
She's a water mage.
Oh.
Well, I guess if I moved closer, like what here, or over here,
Like between the tent and the wolf was what I was kind of thinking of.
yeah, like right there.
Yeah, you should be fine. You should be
Yeah.
able to attack there, no problem.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry
I'll
about
do it.
stepping on top of the wolf. You're not on top of the tent, but the tent does have a part where it's been completely nailed down. So it does provide you some footing around the wolf.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'll do I guess an attack with my mace.
All right. Spinning the mace, looking for some blood with your mace.
Yeah, you know. I want to kill count too, you know.
I know, but you're mostly a healer. These
Oh
guys
yeah.
have like ridiculous spells and like 2 attacks a turn, so you're a bit of a disadvantage. That's why I was mentioning you. Well, I tried suggesting spiritual weapon, but we kind of don't have any spells left for that. So.
Yeah, I can. I would have needed to
But
completely rest.
what if, just saying, because doesn't it allow you to cast at a higher level?
I could.
Yeah, if you want to, you could cast it at 3rd level. And you do have a 3rd level spell slot, but it is the last wolf by the looks of it, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna save it.
Alright, so are you rolling attack, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a mace. Sorry, I was just looking at something.
Alright.
I'm gonna do a mace attack.
22 and 25. Okay, roll damage. Alright, you go ahead and you run around the camp. You finally get to have line of sight with the wolf that you were hearing about. You run up between the tent and then you just smash downwards. The wolf's head takes the full blunt of your mace, shakes its head as it is now pretty dazed as you hit it straight on top. It takes 6 damage.
Surprised I didn't knock it out or something.
No, so and then growls back at you. Alright, that is, I think, the end of your turn, correct?
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, so it is now...
Okay, I
That's
had
a
a
dead
question
wolf.
about when you hit them on like the head or something like that. Don't you like? Isn't there not a chance of concussion or like knocking them
It
out?
depends on the weapon. There's actual weapons for stunning. Or there's abilities to stun based on your knowledge of combat.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I just figured because it's a mace, there's more of a chance of bludgeoning and knocking them out than if it was an axe or a sword.
Yeah, I understand, but that would probably be more like a crit type effect, for instance, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Besides, you can get punched and you're a little dazed there, but you just gotta shake and realign the stars a little bit for a second.
Yeah, that's true. But then
All
again,
right.
if you're hit
Don't-
by a chunk of metal.
Yes, I
yeah.
understand, but don't try to contest it too much. We do want to move things along a little bit.
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
Alright, so, Kali's turn.
I am going to walk towards the fire, peeking around this blood-covered tent,
Seeing where the
lining
dwarf
up
ran
with,
to.
seeing where the dwarf ran to, and I notice the wolf, and I'm going to line up for a shot with my longbow.
Alright. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh,
Alright.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a sleight of hand check for a second, please.
okay. Did I hit another teammate?
Jeez.
Alright, so you go ahead and you run around, you see the dwarf there, you're trying to line a shot fast enough in order to be able to kill the wolf before the wolf has a chance to attack it. As you accidentally slip your fingers downwards, the arrow flings in the air above you, and then you notice the arrow and you're able to catch it.
Oh, sweet.
Damn.
So you now have an arrow in your hand and a bow in your left hand, but you did not successfully...
Okay, I'm gonna.
That is an example of a crit fail followed by a crit. Just turning a fail into a win.
So now that I'm stationary, I have time to line up my second shot.
Decide to actually take a breath this time instead of like trying to rush it.
And then notch the arrow.
A rush shot is a miss shot. All right, go ahead and roll damage. Okay, so recuperating from that one, you decide it's better to take your time and then line up your shot for a sure thing. The wolf, as it's currently shaking its head, it looks up, and then as its vision starts to align, all it sees is an arrow coming at him. And the wolf tries to duck to the side, but it sticks it in the shoulder instead, going down deep into its shoulder plate. It now reaves in pain as it's not sure how to actually overcome this. It is gravely wounded. Oh, it's not going good for this wolf. Not good at all.
With my bonus action, I'm gonna yell, missed again.
Missed
I was
again?
aiming for the head.
Oh, sorry. I aimed for its noggin. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Alright, next person is Turk. Turk, I think, is a little busy at the moment. If you guys want to
No,
take...
no, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
popping.
Alright, no worries.
It's a jog line. This is our last wolf, right?
I believe so. Do you have to head off for a little bit after that?
No. I just have to go in and out.
Okay, sounds good.
No, I'm fine. I actually just double checked with for longer.
Sounds good. So it's your turn right now.
So this is the last visible wolf.
The last visible wolf. I like that. That's the
Okay.
best way to word that.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm trying to just make sure I don't metagame at all. So Turk runs through. Oh fuck! Ready? Hold on. Let me just runs through the fire.
Turk does
Because-
his
Through the fire.
Through the fire.
Turk
and
does his
then-
ceremonial fire dance in order to fear the last wolf away. With a blaze of passion. Anyway, just go.
So Turk is dash. No, he doesn't even need to dash. Okay, so he runs over here and he bumps Rurik on the way. Oh, sorry, buddy. And he's like, he remembers old days of his buddy. He used to rage, and he didn't know how to rage, but he's getting pretty close at it as a fighter, you know. So he runs up and he just comes over and he wants to hit upwards on this wolf. He wants to play some. Heard that without. He wants to just hit it real far because he likes seeing things yelp.
From that last attack that you had that really ignites
Yeah,
some
there you
joy
go.
in you, and you're like, I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Alright,
I
so
want to hear that again.
as you're running
So-
up, you're drawing the warhammer down, and as you're getting closer, you accidentally stumble on the door. It's like, oh, sorry. And then you rev the hammer upwards. Go ahead and roll attack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Son of a bitch.
So as you're running in, you get stumbled by the dwarf, and then you swing upwards, but you accidentally swing to the side. The wolf did not have to have much effort to dodge that one. I'm sorry.
Well, then on the way down, he's just going to swing down on it.
All right, do one more attack. Oh, so as it's up, you see that you missed, and then you decide to just grab it with your other hand and then bring it downwards.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage. Alright, as it comes back down, as the wolf is looking at you, the warhammer lands right on its head, driving it into the ground, and then you hear a big as the complete skull of the wolf concaves inwards from the shape of your warhammer, is now in the ground, and a pool of blood is forming from around the head.
And for my bonus action, I would like to stick 2 fingers into to the wolf's head and kind of just play around for a second. Yep.
Do you want to do some finger painting on the tree trunk or something
Yes,
in order to
actually,
mark your
that is a better
territory?
idea. Thank you.
Turk was here.
Turk
Yep,
was here.
That is literally what I would prefer to use my bonus action for.
W-A-Z-H-E-R.
Yeah.
Turk was here.
Turk was
And hey, he turns in and says to Callie, hey, you play your cards right. I'll write one for you too.
Turk
And I
and
believe that will
Eve,
be.
here for Ever.
No, Callie, come on. We have this weird, like,
Oh,
bond
Callie.
through a window, you know? Turk doesn't see gender, okay? He just loves everyone. Like,
Except children.
yeah, fuck children.
Fuck
Oh, my
children.
wife just looked at me when I said that.
Don't worry, babe. Don't worry, babe. I'm in character. I'm a good actor. You just
Sure.
don't know
I'm
it.
sorry about how I tried to eat one of our baby's heads.
All right. As you take out the warhammer and you hear a big suction as you withdraw your hammer, it is now dripping with crimson. You go ahead and you poke in your finger in the brain. You feel that it is not formed its has not maintained its integrity. The Warhammer has very much turned it to a slushy at this point. Um, you're playing around with it. Kali's probably like, okay, this one's got a thing for brains. But as this is happening, Kali, could you go ahead and do me a nature check?
Yep.
You're lucky it was a low roll for you. All right. As you have enough time to breathe and you take a look at these wolves, you notice that some of the wolves that still do have their rib cages, unlike the ones that have been smashed by warhammers and the like, you see the skin is tightly formed around the rib cage and the stomach is sunken in by quite an amount. These wolves seem to be malnourished. It seems that the reason why they were desperate in order to come into the camp and kill you is the fact that they have not been able to eat for days. It's probably in result of there being a lack of wildlife around, so there's no prey for them to hunt.
Now I feel like a monster.
Yeah, so essentially we've been killing poor villagers and starving wolves so far.
There is no game in the area. There's been the whole, because you do know that you are supposed to be midwinter now and you're still walking among a summer heat. So clearly it's throwing the entire balance of the wilderness completely off track.
Right then. So that's the end of battle.
Yep, that's the end. It doesn't. You don't seem to hear any other footprints. Not footprints. Foots. Or like you don't hear any other wolves howling in the distance or growling or running past the bushes. It seems to be just you, and the sound returns back to the regular crickets and wind howling between the trees. What do you want
Turk
to
would
do?
like to go
Rurik's
pick up
just
his
like-
hand axe. Oh shit.
Yeah,
All right, Nico
Rurik's
first.
like, oh, we're done with battle. I'm going back to bed.
Fuck this shit. I'm going back. We'll clean up in the morning. All right, so what was that, Turk? Oh, I think Turk's muted.
Yes, Turk is muted. Thank you very much.
problem.
Turk would like to go pick up his hand axe.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna need you to have to roll me a strength check.
Fuck, give me a second. I'm outside.
Oh, come on. Big,
Yeah.
burly half-orc yourself.
Yeah,
You can't do a strength check?
Alright, there we go.
You have no problem. The fact that the axe, as you recall, landed into the side of its neck, it did not lodge in any bones, and you just easily pull it out with a...
Wondering if he should lick it. He's just gonna end his turn.
Good
Wow,
choice, Turk. Good
this
choice.
half-orc actually does learn after a while.
Eight
Can I
intellect. Okay, it's not 6, it's 8. Let's get that straight.
Can I check the area for usable arrows?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do an investigation check for me, please.
Okay.
You do manage to find that the wolf that you shot over here on the side, the shaft and the arrowhead is still intact, as well as the one over here where you shot in the back of the hip. But all the other arrows are either snapped, the arrowhead has been lost in the body, or the one all the way back there, which has been, well, completely burnt. It's just ash.
Gone.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll pick up those 2 arrows
All right,
then.
you can go ahead and add the 2 arrows back to your inventory as well, but unfortunately the other ones are non-retrievable.
2's better than none.
Agreed. That's an extra full round for you because you have 2 attacks a turn. Okay, is there anything else anybody else want to do? If not, I guess you can go back to sleep, hoping that the smell
really
of dead
already
wolves
there.
around you aren't going to attract any other starving animals.
What time would this be?
This is probably about 2 or 3 in the morning now because you're in the 3rd shift.
I can keep
Well, my-
watch for a couple of hours.
I'm sorry, what was that, Evelyn?
Oh, I can keep watch for a couple of hours.
It still has not been your turn yet. This happened halfway
It's
through Kali's turn, which was the third
Oh,
watch. You're the
okay,
fourth watch.
right.
If you want to
Okay.
take my turn, you can.
Do you want to finish up your turn and wake me up?
Yeah, I'll finish watching.
All right, so you guys are okay with leaving the wolves where they are before going back to bed, or in taking care of it in the morning, or do you want to take care of it now?
Although
Morning.
whoever's on
I
watch
vote
can
to
probably
leave
do
it.
it.
It's kind of like wolf
Yeah.
potpourri, right? Like, you know, potpourri.
It's like the
I don't know, we
captain's
have to-
head on a spike.
Oh, yeah.
I can clean up while I'm watching.
Still laying it up to you guys to decide what you're doing. You gotta let me know, and I'll let you know what happens. But in the meantime... Oh shoot, I didn't put the other one in the fridge. Never mind, I'm cut off. Only one for me tonight.
No whiskey?
Nice.
It's not in the fridge.
Oh.
I don't feel like room temperature alcohol right now. Especially since we don't have an ice tray. Yay.
Oh, come on. You're like borderline genius, Eric. You could figure something.
Well, I mean, I can throw it in the back of the freezer and then have something in the next half hour, but at that point...
See? See, my version of that would have been just fill the entire freezer up with water. But...
Oh no, I was talking about the alcohol bottle itself. I wouldn't be able to make ice cubes fast enough. That would take at least an hour to make like semi ice cubes. Anyway, have you guys decided what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand watch while everyone goes to sleep, and start cleaning up some of the wolves while
Kirk
watching.
will assist him.
All right.
Perfect. The more the merrier.
All right. So, Evelyn, are you going to stay up as well? Since
Me?
you're like an hour or two away from your watch.
No, I'm injured, so I'm gonna go rest a little bit while I can.
Okay, sounds good. So Evelyn and the dwarf, who's already snoring at this point, surprisingly he was able to unwind so quickly, which is really astounding after having that much adrenaline pumping through his veins. Turk and Kali starts cleaning up. So how are you cleaning up? Are you burning the bodies, or are you dragging them away from the camp?
So yeah, I guess we'll skin them and burn them, or
You're
make
gonna
you that
skin
fur
them.
coat, bud.
Okay, just remember, Daryl, you're also muted.
Yepers, my bad.
No worries. I saw you talking. I was just like, he probably doesn't know.
Yeah,
Alright,
if
so
I'm turning talking, it's probably to the wife, but
you're
yeah,
going to be
I appreciate
skinning
that.
the animals and then tossing the bodies away? Is that what you said?
So
Yeah.
want to keep some of the meat for like the morning or something.
Are you going to leave them skinned in the wilderness, or are you going to burn the bodies?
I think maybe we should save some meat and then maybe leave out what we don't need for other animals, but drag it away from our campsite.
That's very Kali-like to think, because he is not very fond of seeing all the wildlife in the area being starved and leaving the corpses for other animals to potentially prey on. Circle of life.
Circle of life.
Alright, sounds
Yeah,
good.
what do you think, Turk? Sound like a plan?
Turk looks up and he's already taken a bite out of one of the wolves, and he's like, yeah, we can. Yeah. He puts it down, acting like nothing happened, and kind of,
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
oh yeah. I don't care about diseases. Bring it.
Because it's raw.
Watch, I die in a bed at the end
I
of this
mean, the
campaign.
DC rolls lower for him than it is for you guys, because he has a much stronger metabolism than you guys have.
It's a
half
save,
orcs.
right?
It's a, yes, Constitution save.
Sweet. Oh.
Oh yeah. The tender meat, even though it's not as fulfilling as you're used to because they are quite malnourished, the taste does bring you back home.
Hey.
Finger looking good, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I guess
Alright,
after he's done skinning and whatnot
about
and
that-
cleaning.
Are you helping him with the skinning?
Yeah, I was starting to carry the
Alright,
wolves
so-
that are no longer useful into a pile.
Both of you are going to have to do a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh.
Hopefully I don't cut any fingers off.
Yeah, there goes my fingers.
Those are very difficult rolls to discern. All right, so um, Kali ends up grabbing his knife and he's cutting along the underbelly part and then going through the arms. He's familiar with how skinning works, and then he starts peeling off. However, on the other side of the camp, when Turk grabs it, he's not sure what blade to use, so he just grabs his hand axe that he had earlier and just starts chopping downwards. And all that can be heard from Rurik's tent is as he like accidentally breaks off an arm trying to pull off some of the skin, and it's not a pleasant
It's just like
sound to
dripping
sleep
down.
through at all. Despite being asleep, there's a good chance he's probably like, fuck this half-orc. Oh, I mean, a barbarian half-orc probably would sleep peacefully to those sounds, but a civilized dwarf from the church, not so much. All right, so you guys go ahead and, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that Kali is successfully able to skin these. Sorry, hang on. He first tries this one. That one doesn't quite work as well, as it tears halfway through the job as well. But then as you start to get the hang of it, these three you end up having no problems at all. So you do have 3 wolf pelts that you're able to collect. As for Turk, you completely butcher your first 2 attempts, but somehow be able to get a considerable size amount of pelt from the 3rd one. So you do get 1 for yourself, and Callie gets
Cool.
3.
Do I add that wolf pelt?
You can add wolf pelt to your inventory, yeah. I can do that for you if you like.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I don't have any results found from the compendium, so.
Oh yeah, I just write it in.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works.
So this one's Turk, so that one is wolf pelt. Alright, perfect. I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to go ahead to Rurik. Not Rurik, sorry, Kali.
Rick's sleeping here. What the hell, man?
You're a sleepwalker. You seem to know how to skin animals in your sleep. That would
Gibbs,
be
I'm
enough.
not sleeping in his tent.
Yeah, don't sleep in his tent. He's known for being unconsciously dangerous. All right, so you now both have pelts. Kali has 3. You have 1. Excellent. Very good on that. So you're going to continue the watch then?
Turk is going to short rest at this point.
I'm going to wake up Evelyn. Oh wait, sorry. Is it the end of my shift yet?
At
Or I'm
that point,
gonna-
I assume it is, but I don't know.
You still have... Oh, shoot. We just lost a Turk. No! I deleted Turk.
Ooh.
There we
Turk's
go.
vanished.
Turk is back. False alarm, everyone.
Ooh.
A wild
What
Turk
happened?
appeared.
I just went to the far plains. Oh, okay. Whew.
There was
What's
some
that drink?
really funky stuff in that wolf that you ate.
Oh, yeah. They were eating berries.
They didn't have any game, so they had to resort, and some of them probably found a bad batch of mushrooms, which is what you were eating.
Honestly, Turk is not that disappointed.
No. It was a pretty good meal.
I'm gonna stand beside the campfire until the
Alright.
end of my
So you're going to
shift.
roll one more perception check for me?
Yep.
And I guess Turk is going to go back to bed after he's done butchering the wolves.
Yeah, he's a tired half-orc at this point.
Okay. So, as the adrenaline starts to unwind and you sit next to the fire, warming up your hands from time to time, you notice that the fire has been dying a lot lately, as it hasn't received any wood in a little bit. You
And
don't...
it lost a piece.
What was that?
And it lost a piece.
And it lost a piece too. One of its primary logs were tossed, so it was one of its primary sources of fuel. You do not notice any other disturbances in the forest. And you conclude what left of your watch there was. An eventful watch, but it was successful.
Good thing I didn't fall asleep, guys.
Yes.
Do we have any wood beside the fire? to replenish it?
You do have
Or will we
some
have-
extra wood on the side. The cleric was able to smash a good part of a dead tree, and then both of you helped him log all the additional pieces. So
Yeah,
you
see,
can.
it's that log that's lying over there by yonder the tents.
Yeah, there you go. Basically, picture
Excellent.
that was the amount of wood, and you've only used about like 3/4 of it so far.
Can I add fuel to the fire and then wake up Evelyn for her shift
Absolutely.
of Overwatch?
So as you put another log on the fire revivifies, and there's a big warm wave of flickering flames that illuminates the encampment around you, and you can see the tents again that were starting to become very dim. And you're going to go to Evelyn now?
And I'm going to wake her up.
All right, so Evelyn, you have technically been fully rested now.
Oh, okay.
The beauties of being the
Cool.
last person on watch. You've technically slept through the first 3. Well, most of the
Okay,
third
so
one.
Do I get my spells back?
You do get your spells back.
Yes.
Yes! And if we go to your character sheet and I click on the hit die, you heal 4 HP.
I'm sorry. Oh no. There.
I can do that for you if you like.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, so we're going to say that you're over here. And Kali sleeps.
I'm going to go back to my tent to find a snoring half-orc sleeping in my tent. So I'll pick a different one. I'll go over here.
The nice thing, it's kind of like playing magical tents at this point. But I will say, this one would not be fun to sleep in because it has been severely torn on the side from the wolf from the beginning of the attack.
Decapitated, for that matter.
Alright, so Samini, during your watch, as you're sitting up to the fire that has now been brought back to life, you feel the warm emanating presence of the flames. Go ahead and roll your first perception check.
Ooh, the dice have not been kind to me today. So.
That happens to a lot of people. You win some, you lose some, right?
Yeah.
Alright, as you're sitting and you're trying to listen beyond the crackling of the embers at the base of the fire, you don't seem to hear anything except for the crickets who are slowly dying down as the sun is starting to peer over the forest line. Another hour goes by. Go ahead and roll another perception check. It's really nerve-wracking when you gotta do multiple of these perception checks for a single watch.
Oh crap.
Jeez.
As the time goes on, you start to really focus on the sound of the crackling fire and you're not aware as to when the crickets stopped. But by the time you come back to, there is no sounds of crickets either, and the sun has fully peered over the tree light, and the camp is starting to receive natural light. You are now early day. I would probably say you've reached about 7 a.m. at this point.
Okay.
Well, yeah, 6 a.m. actually. Alright, it is now morning. However, as you notice that another hour goes by before you start seeing movement in the tents as your party members seem to be really exhausted, being woken up twice in a single night, not only for their shift, but also the encounter with the wolves.
Is there any wolf meat?
There is definitely wolves that have been pulled away from the encampment. They had not been burned.
Okay.
Did you want to go see if you
I'm
can
not
find
gonna
some to retrieve them?
No, is wolf meat edible?
It is
Do I
edible.
know that?
You
But
cook it.
whenever you have to cook it though, and keep in mind, well, yeah, don't eat it raw. You're not a half-orc. But due to the fact that they have been malnourished, it could be
that's
that they
not
had to
bad.
resort to either eating other wolves, and cannibalisms can be considered, well, wolves eating other wolves isn't considered as nutritious. It's the same thing as humans eating humans. you can potentially get a poisoned effect. Humans don't digest very well.
Are there any berries or anything like that in my surroundings?
Go ahead and do
Can
me a investigation check.
Ooh, okay.
So as you walk around the extremities of the camp, you notice that there's a lot, due to the lack of herbivores that have been in the area, you've noticed that some of the bushes have been growing more berries than usual as they don't have to accommodate for the usual harvesters. You find a series of black and red berries.
Do I know what they are?
Roll me nature check. You find about a dozen
Okay.
of each.
Come on, good rolls.
You recall one of your children in the past come back during whenever they were playing out in the schoolyard. They came back and they had a smear of black paste around their mouth, and they felt really ill at the time. You feel like this might have been what the child came across in the backyard. So you're pretty sure the black ones are not good for you.
Okay, I go back to the camp. I'm suspicious now.
What's that?
I'm just gonna go back to the camp.
Are you keeping the red
No
berries with you,
berries.
the red and black berries, or neither? Or
I'll take the red berries, but
You'll
I'm not
bring the
gonna
red
eat
berries?
any. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll ask
sounds good.
around to see if anybody know what they are.
Okay, sounds good. You go back to the camp. By the time you come back to the camp, since you ended up spending about a good half hour scavenging around looking for some berries, you get back with a handful of berries that you can cup in both hands, and you now see the other adventurers finally a little groggy, but stumbling their way around, making sense of what today's going to be like. And you can all discuss freely.
I go up and I show the red berries and I ask, "Do you guys know what these are? Are they
Since
edible?"
my guy or my character is
Go
native
ahead
to
and
this
roll me.
land, do I
Go
know
ahead
what
and
they
roll
are?
me a nature check, Stu.
Yep.
It'll be easier for you than for others. This is common territory. You see the berries and you're like, oh yeah, I snack on those all the time whenever I'm out here in the woods waiting for my prey.
I'm gonna bring my guy out of the tent. Those berries are delicious. Do you have any to spare?
I shared what I had. These are all I could find
Oh.
around the campsite, but we can share.
Does anybody have any coffee?
Sir Keurig of the Church Order.
I could check my
Oh, wait a
various
minute.
spices
Church
from
of the
my
Black
pouch.
Order.
Yeah, Black Order. Oh, jeez. I could probably muster up some coffee
coffee.
beans from my little pouch. And then from my tankard of plenty, make some water and then make some coffee.
So your tankard of plenty only makes ale of various kinds.
Well, I can make coffee-ish kind.
I mean, that could be a pretty good pick-me-up for some people. I mean, it'll definitely get Turk on his feet, that's for sure. Aww.
I can give you water if you like, or you can continue to brew coffee with ale.
I could give it a whirl. Oh, wow.
At the mention of wanting coffee, Kali, could you do me one last nature check?
Yep.
Ooh.
Nice.
Beautiful. Oh, it was double, but still beautiful. Or no, that was from the previous one. Okay. So hearing Evelyn asks for coffee, and Rurik also seeming to really feel the craving for some as a pick-me-up. You do recognize the area, and you do know of a bovine leaf, which you can use to brew into a tea, which you felt has a similar effect as well. And with such a high natural 20 nature, you have no problem collecting a handful of these leaves in a bush further that you've passed yesterday, and you made a mental note of it.
Sweet. So can I make tea for everybody?
You will need some water in a pot.
Good girl, thank you.
You are nowhere near any river, unfortunately, but
I have
you
water.
do recall seeing what happened last night. Yeah, Evelyn.
Endless water.
Yep.
All right.
The
Just don't
next
do
Yeah,
question
well-
is, how much do you need? A gallon? 5 gallons? Or 30 gallons?
I think a gallon will do for all 4 of us.
What?
So what's the magic word? Evelyn?
Abracadabra.
No, there's an actual word that you have to say, otherwise it doesn't work.
Oh,
You thought I was messing with you.
yep. Oh, stream.
All right, so as you grab the quart from your endless decanter and you say stream, the water pours from the head into the pot, and Callie ends up crushing the leaves and sprinkling some of them over the top of the water, placing the pot over the fire, and then carefully tending to it and mixing it from time to time. The leaves dissolve entirely, and you see that the water starts to tint of a very pale lime green color. Collie knows when it's done cooking. Or brewing, I should say.
So I pass it out to everybody.
Yeah, so everybody does have a little canteen to use a cup, so you can easily use a cup to dip it in.
So I offer everybody tea.
All right. Does everybody want tea? It's got a good
Yeah.
kick to it.
Gotta wait.
Yeah, Turk takes
Wait
one.
a while.
Is our movement speed going to increase?
It does not increase movement speed, but it does make up for
Turk's gonna wake the hell up.
It does make up for a little bit of the lack of sleep from last night. You are now invigorated, and you feel more attentive than you were a couple moments ago, as some of you were stumbling around a little groggily.
As Turk takes a drink, he spits it out and goes, "This isn't ale."
Well, now
He
that
passes
everyone's
it off.
awake, I suggest that we continue on our journey moving north.
Okay.
Yes, and I agree with that. Rick agrees
Agreed.
with that.
All right.
We
So
take the tents down before we go and pack them up.
Good call.
And smother the fire.
that's a good call. I mean, there's water's not an issue. It's such a useful item, I gotta tell you. So I was sad you weren't using it. I'm like, oh, wait till you get your first taste of it.
Yeah, but you can also pick up dirt and throw it on the fire. And it'll
You could do that too, yeah.
Seems like we lost Turk. Still
He's just
Half the
muted.
people are muted.
For the time being.
Yeah, just,
I,
I don't want you
I
guys
also
to hear my
agree with
background noise.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
don't
I'm
worry,
back.
Daryl. Your sounds are not ear-shattering. We don't
Okay.
mind hearing like the microwave closing or like someone
Okay,
walking through
okay.
a door.
That's what I was worried about. The wife started making supper, and I mean, I want to eat supper, so
No
I was
worries.
like, yeah.
Oh, you haven't had supper yet. When are you having supper?
No, dude, I'm a dad. I don't even know when I eat supper normally.
Okay, well, we'll see how much faster we can go through this. But this,
No. I'll take it off camera and I'll just shove it in the way
just
Turk
a
would
little
eat
heads
too.
up to you guys. This campaign will last either another 40 or another hour or two, based on what your decisions are. Okay.
Yes. No, I'm down with that.
So I'll try to limit it at 2 at most. Like I'll try to end it by no later than 11 because I do know that people have things to do tomorrow. Okay,
So
so
later at 11. I'm going to get off at 10.
I'm
We're all
trying
lost,
to.
but-
All right, so you guys are all heading north. Okay, so
Yep.
as you're heading north, you end up stumbling end up, as you're walking, following the path leading by Kali notices some of the wolves that have been pulled aside from the camp because they were pulled all around, as opposed to all into a single section. He notices that some of the wolves have been eaten a little bit. You can tell that there are some areas of the meat that has been torn by fangs. So there's clearly still some wildlife, but these ones seem to be a little less desperate, but also probably thankful to have found some food, first time in a while. And as you venture further north, about another hour's travel, you stumble upon a clearing. Okay. And we're going to do this. And
Oh, I see the fountain.
I see dead people.
oh,
After
also,
hanging out with us, I would imagine.
Turk is also supposed to heal a little bit, so I'm going to do that for you, okay?
Thanks.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
actually
do I
heal.
get to heal?
I already gave you the heal.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he heals at 4 as well. Perfect. Okay. So as you come into the opening, you see the well that has been mentioned countless times, not only from the townspeople, but Evelyn, whenever you looked at the map as well when it was marked, and Kali, from your past experiences of bringing the town mayor and some of his other followings in order to do the ceremonial thank for the harvest. However, I'm going to need everybody else to roll me an investigation check.
Gee.
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
Wow!
I just did that to make Collapsia feel better. I'm just saying.
It's like, oh yeah? You got a 1? Watch this! Alright, as you come into the clearing, Callie being the first one to peer beyond the tree line, you not only see the clearing with the fountain and the altar that's in front of it, but you also notice that there is a couple piles of ash that has been scattered in random areas around the opening. And shortly after, you notice a flickering light, as if it was similar to the campfire that you had last night. You actually notice, hang on. Is it gonna let me interact with this? There we go.
Oh.
What the heck?
Are they on fire? Oh, okay.
In the center, around the fountain, you notice that there's these 2 large humanoid shapes, fire elementals, that are just lumbering around the fountain, completely unknowing of your presence, and they don't seem to care either.
I crack my knuckles.
And as they're walking
You're up.
around, you can hear them as well.
I turn to Kali and be like, do you know what these are?
I've never seen these before.
Kali, do a history check for me.
Or maybe I have.
You remember the ritual that the town does on a yearly basis in order to provide thanks for a bountiful harvest and to mark the end of the summer season whenever all the crops have been cleared, and they make room for the Winter Festival, and through this process, they allow nature to continue forward and to move into autumn, which eventually moves into winter. And without this ritual, it seems that the autumn spirits have been very displeased, and they've been remaining in the area until they receive what they have deemed rightfully theirs.
Ooh, okay. I think I have a bag of corn in my inventory.
Yes.
Can I throw the corn at them?
Don't you want to put him in
Look
that
at
bowl in front of the...
So,
Or do I just put it in the
did
sand?
you want to
I see
go
the
further
bowl, the
into? Do you
offering.
want to go further into the clearing?
Yeah, can I go by myself though? If it's
Does
still
everybody
all
agree
hidden?
with him going only?
Sure.
Yeah,
You
sure.
want
I don't have any stealth or anything, so good luck, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna approach the offering dish with my bag of corn, holding my bag of corn out.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, be careful.
I don't see my guy.
Oh, you're further at the bottom.
Behind the tree.
Oh, am I? Okay. I'm playing on.
Oh,
You were heading north, so you came
I
from
see him
the
now.
south.
While he's doing that, Turk whispers to him like, "Hey, bud, do you need a boost again?"
Launch me in there.
As you come closer, you notice that the piles of ash that you've seen earlier also contain various humanoid-sized bones. This might have been where the bandits tried to interfere and then realizing that their chances were better off at the bridge.
I don't know if I should keep going or not.
They still seem to not pay any attention to you.
Do they notice me?
You don't
Or are
know.
they just oblivious? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna continue walking with my corn out to this dish here, or bowl.
Did you want to wait till he passes, or do you want to go to it right away?
I'll wait till he passes. If he has no interest in me.
As he walks by you, you feel a searing amount of heat emanating from his body, and you do take... hang on. I don't want to accidentally click on the wrong thing and show you something that's not actually happening. Ooh! Okay, no. Oh, that's only a few. Never mind. Never mind.
I'll melt my face off.
No, you're lucky. So as he walks by you, you feel a intense amount of searing heat emanate from him, and you feel some of your skin start to increase at alarming temperatures, and some areas start to boil even a little bit, and you do take 1d8 fire damage. Just 1d8. You take 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's not terrible.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna place the corn after he passes. I'm gonna approach the bowl and
So
place
as you
all the
look
corn
into
in
the
there.
bowl and you see the charred marks around the interior of the ceramic bowl, you see a pile of ash that has been left within, and within the ash you've seen what resembles a bunch of stalks, which is most commonly seen as corn knobs that have been completely charred.
I'm gonna place my I'm gonna place one cob in there and then back away.
I'm gonna just move things up a little bit further. As the fire elementals goes through, the corn inside the bowl starts to heat, and after a while you start hearing,
Yes.
and then stops. You only put one corn cobber in there, right?
Yeah, just one.
Okay. The fire elementals seem to be moving a little faster now. You were all watching this from the back as he's like going in and out from this giant blender of fire tornadoes.
So the better question to ask Callie is, what's the normal ritual? Since we don't... Well, I probably should know.
Whatever he did seemed to make them slightly livelier.
Okay. After this one guy passes, can I place the rest of the corn in there?
Yeah, you can definitely do
An
that.
additional 4, and then back away.
So why is there a fountain in the center? Is there something to do with the fountain?
It's the Fountain of Springs. It's just a an area of ancestral natural power. So as moving, you're going in and you're dropping the other corn? Yeah, you have no problem. You walk over, you chuck the other...
Yeah.
You said the bag, right?
Yeah, I'll chuck all of them in there, and
Okay.
then back away, before I get burnt.
Yeah, that's a good call. As the fire elemental approaches, you see the bag start to catch on fire around the corn, and the bag itself, before it dissipates, starts to expand in various areas as you're a series of pop, 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 pop. Congratulations, you invented popcorn. The elementals are moving faster, and the corn, after a series of pops, just completely caves inwards as it is burning to ash. The elementals then slow down. They eventually come to a crawling speed and eventually stop. Alright.
All you see is Callie laughing. I knew 5 was the right number.
Alright, hang on. Alright, so the burn, as the corn finishes burning, the flickering of the elementals seem to calm, and they slowly kneel inwards as if they're covering their stomach, feeling unwell. They start to eventually completely cave in themselves, and then with a burst of bright light, they expand in a wide wave of flames, expanding quickly towards you in every direction. The fire reaches you at an alarming speed, and you can feel the intense heat go through your armor and then phase through your body, but you did not feel the pain that you were expecting of seared flesh. You were instead completely overwhelmed with a warm, calming feeling that soothes your very inner soul. And the flames expand far beyond into the tree line beyond, and you see a bunch of flickering, dancing flames above the treetops all around you in the forest. The flames eventually start to dissipate. Okay, hang on.
Sounds beautiful.
I'm gonna lower
Jesus, dude, sounds like the first day you saw Taylor at Moxie's.
More or less.
Anyway, so treetops. The flames eventually dissipate and
okay, hang on, where am
the
I?
leaves
I had to write
who
all
were
this
originally
down, 'cause
all
there's a lot.
green all around you, with a brilliant array of colors. The wave continues to expand beyond the nearby trees, and the flames can be seen dancing. You hear the rushing of a cool autumn breeze rushing through the forest, knocking a couple leaves loose as they kind of flow in the opening in a cyclonic motion, a couple of the leaves landing on the center surface of the fountain, landing and then just floating aside, adrift on top of the water's edge. You have successfully pleased the spirit of autumn and broken the unending chain of the summer heat. All
Nice.
around you, you are covered in the colors of autumn.
Turk cheers out loud. Hurrah!
Yeah!
Yeah. I celebrate as well.
It's like the end of a Power Rangers where we all just jump at the same time, like, yeah!
Please frame.
I love
Well
it.
done. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to fight it or complete the ritual.
I thought about fighting it because Evelyn could have used the freeze, try to freeze them.
Tidal
but
wave.
Let's just say it was a
Tidal
good thing
wave
I
failure.
was eating breakfast for supper at that point. I think we would have fought them.
All right. So
Yay, we resolved the conflict without violence. So
yeah,
proud of us.
imagine
Well
that.
done.
Good lord, what's become of us?
We're following our
Could you
alignments a
imagine?
little
That's
more.
actually possible. All right.
You see Turk hold up the cap, flying into the air.
Oh my god, he still has that thing?
And then he starts singing, "It's a
Trophies.
slinky, a slinky. Everyone loves a
So
slinky."
now that you're in the opening, surrounded by the autumn trees, and the fountain has accumulated a couple leaves over top of the water that are just kind of being pushed to one side of the fountain from the rushing air flowing through the trees, and you feel the cold air start to chill. What do you do now? You're not retrieving the corn, just letting you know.
Can I drink from the
What?
fountain?
There's no more popcorn? Damn it.
You can try to drink from the fountain.
All right, I
Yeah,
approach
might as
it, cut my hands, take a sip for good luck.
You drink the refreshing water, and you do not notice anything.
Except for the quench of thirst.
So
Does
seeing
anybody
that he
else
doesn't
want to drink
fall
from the
over
water,
die,
or?
Turk comes over and he starts splashing water on his face fountain.
Sure, I'll drink some water.
Oh, maybe he'll splash some water on his face after.
Meow. I'm gonna come over here and have some water.
Are you
Just
guys moving up too, or?
Yeah, I would approach them.
It's up to you. Just quickly, hang on. All right, so are you guys drinking from the water as well?
Yeah, I'll have a s-
Okay, sounds good. As Turk cups his hands in the water in the same fashion that he saw Kali do, and he lifts it to his mouth and drinks, he's drinking and he feels the cool water rushing down his throat, and as it lands to his stomach, he notices that the concaving feeling he's been feeling in his stomach over the past day from eating unnutritioned flesh, uncooked, the uneasy feeling starts to slowly dissipate in his stomach. You seem to feel normal now.
Which confuses Turk because he was always told the fish fucking water. So
What is this?
Yeah, but I don't think there's any fish in this pond. But
that's maybe why it's refreshing.
It is most likely the clearest water that you have ever tasted.
it's like healing water in a sense.
Player to
Does
player.
Callie get healed?
What was that? Kali?
Does Callie get healed because he got fire damage, right?
It did not heal him, but yes, that's right. You did take fire
Okay.
damage. That was 2. It does not close wounds, but you've noticed that it seems to make you feel at peace. It removes any afflictions that
Some
you are
relief.
feeling. It provides you with relief. It is of the purest quality, and it is from the spring spirits. And just DM to players letting you know you feel that if you had been poisoned, that this would produce potential relief for a certain amount of time.
It's like a water of healing.
Well, temporary condition removal, I guess, or if you want us to call it that. Either way.
I guess at this point we've completed the quest and we've saved the lands of the long summer.
You still await payment from Kali, and
Oh, for sure.
the children are still in town.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh, yes,
wondering
the
why you
children.
haven't returned yet.
Better
Yeah,
things to do.
I exhale a sigh of relief and start to relax a little bit, and then realize that suddenly the children... Like, oh shit, the children!
Oh, right!
Get the children.
Oh, right, the children. So, Callie, about that money, eh?
I'm gonna pay my trustful helpers and newly found friends for helping me complete this task of ridding my lands of the bandits and the captain.
So remember, from me to you as a player, a DM to player, the bandits paid you 200 gold. How much are you giving to them?
I offered them 50 each, I believe.
Okay, that was the original agreed upon price. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta
So
keep a little for myself. Do some repairs.
you do have some repairs to do, I'm sorry to say, and you have some cleanup to do as well.
Turk takes his 50 gold and he hears the word friend. Friend. He picks
Aww.
up the little wood
Friend.
elf and he hugs him like a little boy with a puppy.
Oh,
Just squeezes him.
at the sight of Kali
like a bear
taking out
hug.
the coins and starts distributing Turk
Or an orc hug.
an orc hug. Yeah. Oh, trust me, when I'm playing Druid, I will give a bear hug, but it might actually cause damage. All right, so are you guys returning back?
Yes.
After receiving my gold, I'm gonna go back to the church.
I have to go see the children.
All right, so keep in mind you are a days and a half walk away from town.
So this is reminding me as a player that what did I call it? Dipsy Doodle Walk?
Something like that?
Hopscotch walk.
Is it
What's
this?
that? Revitalized walk.
Oh, this.
Oh.
My chair is going up with me doing this. All right, so as you guys venture back south towards the cabin,
Shit, on mute, sorry.
you don't seem to notice anything different beyond the remains of the fire pit that you left. Some of the other wolf carcasses that you left behind have been ravaged a little bit more, but not extensively, as it's probably only attract smaller predators like badgers and such like. You do manage to make it back to the cabin, and at this point it is probably later in the evening by the time you arrive.
Probably go into the cabin and
Yeah, Kylie, can we stay in the cabin overnight? And we'll head to the village tomorrow?
I look at the group and I say, for a fee. I
Poor
pause,
fee.
long pause, and then I laugh a little bit.
50
and I
gold
say,
a
"Of
night per
course."
person?
I say, of course you guys can spend the night.
Like, oh hey, there's the big
Probably
tent right
was
there.
fun.
I'll just take the tent, you know.
There are other
free.
tents as options too, but it's up to you how cozy you guys want to be. Keep in mind, the lower tents, the one that Kali scavenged in here was filled with rotten apple cores. I remember that stuff.
Although this one had meat in it, so I don't know.
That one had a
That's
barrel
true.
of mead, and it had a captain's table and chair. It didn't make up very much in bedding. It was pretty standardized compared to the other bandits, but it was more of the strategic's tent. All
I
right,
called that one.
so you guys are going to be
I have a
staying here?
question.
Yes.
The cloak of many fashions. What does that enable me to do? Like, can I just turn into like other people, or?
So you're able to describe the pattern of your cloak in any way you want. Like, for instance, you can say that celebrating the new found autumn that's come back, you decide to make a wonderful pattern of orange, white, and red leaves going from the top of your cloak to from the bottom of your cloak upwards with a nice golden trim laid over
Okay,
the
that's neat.
shoulders. You can completely change it, which is really wonderful, especially for performance.
Oh, okay, so you can be used as like camouflage essentially.
You can use as camouflage, which is the main
Okay,
purpose
sweet.
of yours. No matter what season it is, you have the most adequate camouflage. You just gotta describe what it looks like. Alright, so I guess everybody ends up camping out here? Well,
Sounds good.
Yeah, everyone can stay over.
All right, so as you spend the evening together, Callie goes ahead and he ends up making his way in. He ends up bringing in some logs that he's collected outside over the summer for the fireplace. He lights up the fireplace and he pulls up a couple chairs where you can spend a bit of time together if you wish before deciding to eat and get some sleep. As there is a large dining table that will accommodate for 4 people as well.
I'll invite my friends in for dinner.
Ren?
Food?
Ooh.
Food?
Bread? Food? Ale? Are you guys still leaving the barrel in the tent as well?
No, I go and bring it in.
You feel like he's earned it?
Yes.
All right,
Job well
Evelyn.
done.
Evelyn finally deciding to share her secrets. She was holding on to this as a reason to celebrate among her newfound friends and compatriots. She ends up asking for help as the barrel is quite heavy, but Turk, as soon as he hears that there's a barrel of ale, just goes ahead and picks it up himself and brings it into the cabin, sits it at the end of the table where he ends up using a cup in order to pour into various steins. Using some... Callie, it's up to you. Do you want to share some of your reserves that you have from your hunting venture from dried meats, or do you want to go ahead and just use rations? It's your home.
We use dried meats.
Okay. Callie goes ahead and he grabs a little extra stash of corn that he got from town prior, as well as an array of dried meats from dried deer to rabbit,
For a job well done.
all spiced and smoked on his fireplace. And he lays it across the table as Turk places a series of steins of ale from the barrel at the end of the table that he will most likely be refilling throughout the night. And you all have a wonderful meal. You look around, share a couple smiles, and some stories to tell. And is there anything else you guys want to do between now and getting some sleep tonight?
I don't think so.
Well, I love you guys. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I'm going to bed. I kick everyone out.
Enjoyed your meal. Get the fuck out. Oh, you're muted, Daryl.
Womp womp. I said bop, Alicia.
You still have the tents that you did put back together, but it's up to you. It is Callie's home, besides.
Oh, is
Turk's
we
already
can
sleeping
share
by
the-
the door.
Torque's
We
already
can
sleeping
share
by
the
the door.
captain's tent, right? Yeah.
You gonna share with the
Tim-
dwarf who
Tim
already jumped
take
in?
a nap. It's big enough for a few of us, you know.
That's what she said? No? Too late, eh?
Oh,
There is only one bed in there, so if you're gonna want to both sleep in there, I would recommend like unrolling one of your other bed rolls.
yeah, I can do that.
You do have some bed rolls.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah, you can definitely do that. There's definitely enough room in there in order to lay another bedroll, as it was quite spacious, and there was some liberated space from the large keg of ale that was brought from out. Callie
They
has the
tell
whole
me
cabin to
sticky-
himself, very much looking to a full night's rest in his own bed that he vacated from for several
Yep.
weeks now,
Nothing like sleeping in your own bed.
right? Okay. Um,
Turk sleeping in his own little tent by himself.
oh wait, sorry, no, you said he was by the door, right?
Yeah, he was by the door, yeah, that's
It's
right.
like a loyal hound. Look at him.
Yep, yep.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't realize you were the ranger that had a companion.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Women have called me worse before.
This one's trainable with ale, by the way.
Yes, yes, ale, ale.
All right, so the night continues on. You hear a faint sound of a howl in the trees, and it seems like some of the birds are now in migration. As you hear some flapping of birds over, the sound of crickets return. It's a very peaceful night. And there is no event throughout the night. I'm just going to save you the time. Because I do know we're nearing 10. There wasn't going to be any event here, don't worry. Alright, so you wake up in the morning. The light pierces through the valley and starts to illuminate the...
Okay, I just want to point out something. Those
Yes.
bandits are still there.
Oh, they're still there. Oh, yeah.
We just
In
didn't
fact,
share anything with
considering
them.
that they've been here for the past 2.5 days now, they are starting to emanate a bit of a smell.
Wait, they were alive when we left.
No, the two
Oh,
live ones
no.
are still at the end of the path there.
Oh, no, that's because
They're
I tried
down.
to drag them forward. But they're gone.
Turk is just relieved that smell is...
There we go. That's why it looked so weird. I was like, what? They're still... Weird.
I thought they were just sitting in the house.
No. The entire time, no. Eating in front of them
Oh,
and
they're
everything.
gone. We're gonna go and fucking
Yeah.
chill in the
Alright,
house while
so
they're away.
you wake up in the morning. It's a calm morning. The light peers over the forest, lights up the entire cabin area, all of the terrain of Kali, but you still feel a cool chill. However, alright, who's walking out of the tents? Or who's doing what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
up.
wake.
Oh, I'm gonna get up and walk out of the tent.
Are you guys going to the
Yeah.
cabin to like have breakfast with Kali or see you?
If he'll let us
You're gonna
in.
let us in?
As you're walking towards the cabin, you know something small and insignificant catches your attention as it lands over your shoulder. You start to notice there's these light little snowflakes falling ever so gently all around you.
It's snowing.
Turk
Quick.
sticks his tongue out
Here
to try
and
and
there.
catch one.
Quick,
Snowball
book it for
fight.
town before we get hit.
Turk holds his tongue out. One of them eventually lands on your tongue and melts immediately, and you feel a small trickle of water make its way to the back of your throat. Definitely not enough to satisfy you, but it was fun. Alright, it's the beginning of a new day. You have definitely put the natural course back on track, and some of you feel that things are probably changing in the village.
Okay, after breakfast, are we having breakfast?
I don't
Yeah, I'll
think
invite you guys. I'll invite you guys in for breakfast if you help me clean up all
Aw.
these dead bodies.
Oh, condition.
Okay.
And what's your condition for cleaning up the dead bodies?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Are you mean gathering them up in a single place outside of your
Oh,
encampment, or
Yeah, we'll
digging?
gather them up and burn the bodies, I guess.
You're gonna burn the bodies
Probably
right
the
away.
easiest.
Turk
Or
picks
yeah.
up the two, throws them outside into a pile.
Okay. Yep, I would say a collaborated effort between all of you. You can definitely do that within an hour's time. Collect all the bodies within a single area. Where would you like to burn them?
Let's put the fireplace right here by the captain, I guess.
Okay, so in the center, so it's away from all the trees.
Yeah, away from the trees and the tents and the building.
Are you also going to grab the head, the impaled head, serving
Yeah,
as a
I
front
will-
decoration?
I look at Turk and I'll ask him if he wants to keep it as a souvenir.
Turk would keep it as a walking stick.
Are you grabbing?
Can I have a
Are you
shoe
grabbing
on
the
his
head, or are you gonna
No,
flip it upside
I'm
down, hold
grabbing
the
the
stick,
pike.
and like use the head as the bottom of your
No,
walking
I was
stick?
gonna use the where it's impaled into the ground. That's when impact walking. It's like those old canes. It's like the cane from Jurassic Park where he's got the on top of the cane. It's essentially
So instead of a gem, you're gonna have an impaled captain's head.
yes. Thank you.
Oh
how
man,
that
you're gonna
works.
scare all the children when you get back to town.
Fuck the shit.
And there goes our
I mean,
alignment again. Off course a little bit.
Wait, wasn't this our evil campaign? Fuck, I'm so confused.
All right, so
That would be fun to play.
you spent the
Yeah.
next hour collecting the dead bodies, bringing them into the center. Rurik has been feeling a little down as of late. Hang on, where is it? There we go. He feels a little upset and disturbed from the slaughter of those who he once considered as neighbors. He goes ahead and he asks for a moment before you end up igniting the bodies. He walks up to them and he ends up whispering a prayer in order to provide them a proper passing.
And throws the head onto the pile.
Yes. While Turk's not looking, grabs the head from the staff and tosses it into the pyre and then ignites, and feeling a bit of a sense of relief and a bit of a condonement.
Turk sees the head jump in and he goes, "Oh."
You now have a bloody-ended stick.
Yes, I dig.
Okay. So I'm guessing
Added
after this
inventory.
you all have breakfast?
Yeah.
All right. So there is still half a barrel of ale left.
Oh,
I mean, to some it
ale.
might be a little
Washing.
young, to some it might not. I mean, it might be early. All right, so when do you head back to town?
Turk
Yeah.
would pour a drink for everybody as they watch the. Is that? I'm sorry, I should have said.
It'll take a while for them to burn, so don't worry. You can definitely grab a stein and give him the warrior salute
After
as...
breakfast. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. After they finish breakfast, that he pours a drink for everybody, brings them outside, and salutes the pile. Looks at everybody, salutes them, and they'll.
Here, here.
All right. So you guys start to walk towards town then, I guess?
Yeah.
Deliver the good news?
Are we doing
Cheers,
the
the children
walking?
are still
Come
alive.
on, I'm not even on camera.
Although I think they know what the good news is because the snow's falling in town.
Could be. Could be that they're ahead of you.
I pray that the children are still alive.
They were
I'd
left
pray
with
the
the other
opposite.
3 guards, though, that accompany
Yeah.
the caravan.
So they should be fine.
All right. So as you start to walk back to town, you notice that the snowflakes that have been falling around you have started to increase in numbers to the point where there's this gentle snowfall all around you, obscuring your vision, almost to the point where it's a blizzard, but not nearly as windy. And the snow starts to collect over this treetops.
Oh, wow.
So pretty.
As you're walking down
Aw.
the south back towards the town, the treetops start to cover in snow and icicles start to form underneath various branches. The snow covers the grass, becoming a pure sheet of white, unbothered snow. And you start to soak in the beauty that you've experienced within the past 24 hours, seeing the trees going from green to having vibrant colors, and then eventually having them covered in snow. Let's see what else we have here. Alright. By the time you reach into the town, you can see off into the distance, which I'm just going to change this before continuing.
Enter as heroes.
You can hear the laughter in the background. You can see that the snow that's been gathering has been forming over the treetops of all the nearby homes of the village as well. You can see, as you can also hear over the laughter, you see children running around in circles with their tongues out, trying to catch some of the snowflakes into their mouths. You see Hector walking out of the large building, carrying a bunch of series of scrolls, trying to gather some other citizens, as he has a lot of preparations to do with this new development. He seems still very paranoid, looking around him suspiciously, similar to whenever you saw him dodging fruit, but this time dodging snowballs from the nearby children instead. You spend the of the day, telling the adventures that you had with your newfound friends, with the locals, as they cheer, and they are very thankful that they were able to continue with the festival as a yearly tradition, and potentially added a few new games as recognition as to some of the exploits that have been done in the past couple days. Evelyn, are you still entering the ice sculpting challenge contest?
am.
You are. Now, I'm
Oh
going to
shit,
give
we
you an
got
option.
a ringer.
I'm going to give you an option. You can either create your ice sculpture, and I'll determine the DC based on its quality, or it can be a predetermined sculpture.
I think I'm gonna create the sculpture.
You're going to create the sculpture? What are you going to try to create?
I'm gonna create one of those fire monsters.
Ooh, you're going to make like a humanoid made of ice with waves expanding from his shoulders and his head?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll me an Arcana check.
Come on, come on.
Oh, nice.
Not bad.
You open your decanter and you end up whispering the word fountain as a large stream of water comes out, but instead of just falling to the ground, you wave your hands and the water falls down and then moves forward in a very fluid motion. And as you disperse the water and then you start to form, it solidifies, and then you go expand, solidifies, expands, solidifies, expands, and then you eventually carve out the details of the waves over the shoulders. It has become an impressive sculpture in this year's display. The second best sculpture, following yours very closely, was another one from the carpenter, who's once again been trying to foil you, but still keeping that running record. He ended up making a howling wolf to a moon, stepping over a stone, which is the tip of a mountain, and the moon, a full moon in the background. But congratulations, you were able to maintain the title for ice sculpture. It had taken some convincing in the past in order to allow you to form the blocks of ice and then add your details afterwards, but the judges do enjoy you being a part of the contest as a yearly tradition.
Turk claps and leans over and says, "I know her." To a random citizen.
Aw.
Amazing. Rurik was feeling originally feeling it was a little upset, but he was relieved that he was able to return to the encampment and eventually set the souls that he had felt were a part of his society and his neighbors, and as their souls traverse, he decides to go and celebrate. And instead of spending his entire time collecting money from all the other nearby travelers for the church, he decides to go to the inn, where he can see the tavern keeper is currently outside. He's ushering one wave of maids after another. They're holding large trays of hot cocoa steins. But decides that maybe he would rather celebrate with something less diluted and maybe go for a nice dark stout. Turk.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. And Turk stops by the inn where the bartender has been busily bringing out mugs of cocoa. With gratitude, the bartender mixes a little bit he mixes yours, half cocoa, half ale. He says, "Thank you very much for being able to bring this to our town. It is a very special tradition. And just for you, I was able to get the exterminator to push the date forward, and he was able to take care of the rats.
No.
We will no longer be holding ale."
So
And-
Turk stands there. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Turk stands there, and it's almost like time slows down a little bit, and he takes that drink, and it's like it's frozen for a second. And he puts it down, and he looks at the bartender, shakes his head, and he goes,
Oh,
That's it.
you just wanted it frozen?
Yeah, sorry, I missed that. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
I
okay.
was
No, it's
walking and I switched.
it's half hot cocoa, half ale. Hot
Oh,
cocoa.
okay.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry. I'll ask them to reheat it immediately.
I drank it cold. It's cool. It had
Turk.
ale in it.
Turk ends up
Yeah,
grabbing a
sure.
couple, and he ends up seeing the dwarf Rurik at the nearby table. Ends up sitting with him and celebrating with him, sharing some of the stories that they've had over some ridiculously brutal kills. As Turk always bonds over these types of moments of fierce loyalty. He tries to comfort Rurik as he notices that he wasn't the same as he was whenever he first started, but his attention is often slipping to the side where he sees the other maid, where he swore winked in his direction. After a couple of drinks, he notices one of the little children, a girl named Wanda, walks over to the barmaid and starts tugging on her apron, talking to her. The barmaid looks over at Turk, blushes with a smile. As for Kali,
Derek.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh, he's
hey,
been-
Turk, that girl's checking you out, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were leading in there. I was like, Turk just looks and goes, I'll see you later, bud. And gets up and leaves.
Nice. As for Kali, usually spending his time in the cabin during the festival, decides to stay in town for a while for once. May find some new experiences
For
with his new
once.
friends. Oh yeah, he's not very much for the festivities because he usually prefers the solstice life. He prefers to not feel overcrowded. He enjoys his own company. But he ended up finding out that he has this natural talent for ranged combat, which far exceeds the use of only a longbow, and is a natural snowball fighter. I mean, retaliating. Yeah, well, snowball fighter. Sorry, I got a little ahead of the way.
It just
there.
makes it sound like you're attacking the snow.
Retaliating from the kids' onslaught, who have been pestering a lot of the other travelers in like their guerrilla-style warfare with snowball fights. Kali quickly turns a child invasion into a hunter's game of hide and seek. Alright, and as for the conclusion of this tale, the festival goes on for the next week, and the games range from tobogganing races down a series of hills. A challenge of those who can be the fastest to down a hot cup of cocoa. And a newfound game that was added recently by Hector in the stories that you've shared with the town, which is trying to knock off heads off of snowmen using snowballs at range.
Oh, that
Nice.
seems so cool.
Which Turk
Awesome.
re-entered the line multiple times, but unfortunately, Kali made the competition incredibly unfair.
Damn sharpshooter. I said no beats.
Aaron.
However, eventually, the snowballs, oh my god, hang on, let me see here. I ended up getting lost track. Oh yeah, so he knocks off the heads of the snowmen using snowballs, where the town received their new champion for the first year of the event. But however, eventually all good things must come to an end, and people return to their normal lives, leaving this cold town. But until next year, whenever the festivities start once again. Turk, all warm and content on the ale, waves goodbye to one of the maids, who he's learnt her name finally, Mary.
I learned a lot more than that, buddy.
She's the eldest of the bartender's daughters, who blows a kiss in your direction as you walk towards the... hold on to that one as you walk back to the wagon. And you end up helping Evelyn ready the wagon as she starts to count the children to make sure that she's not missing any within the town. So she starts listing them off. Arnold, Carlos, Dorothy, Jyoti, Keisha, Phoebe, Ralphie, Timothy, and finally Wanda. So you all get onto the abnormally long, large, yellow carriage, and you finally head back from town.
Carriage.
It is the
Like a
trademark
first-
of the Maggie's school, wonderful school of gifted children. It's basically a magic school bus.
Yeah, of course.
Callie returns to his cabin with his new trophy and sets it over on the fireplace mantle. He ends up spending the rest of his winter there, waiting, and then going back out in order to hunt some more game. But every night when he returns to his cabin and he ends up warming by the fire, he sees that trophy and he thinks of the new friends he did not expect to encounter this year. As for Rurik, he returns back to his day-to-day routine with the church, eventually seeking more responsibility and eventually taking on an oath of protection for the villagers of this town, and continues down the path of a high-ranking paladin. And that was it.
Yeah, Pellies. That was awesome,
Great
dude.
story. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome, dude.
10:03.
That was a good timing.
Nice.
Yeah, well, this festival's been changed for quite a bit.
Damn, dude, that was good. I wish there was more. So I believe this is the point where we all peer pressure Eric to start a long-term campaign where we all pick characters again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm already working on a long-term campaign. But
Beautiful.
it's going to take a while to finish, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe the events that you guys have actually accomplished here may actually have some impacts on
That'd be
some of the
cool.
events that happen.